I think the wind was supposed to be nice and calm today until 2 o'clock, and then it dies down again at 6. So somebody's making it even harder for us now. But we'll try and deal with the game today. Hopefully get the win and get all 3 points, and then we start to feel better ourselves. Then we can stop getting asked about the goals, stop getting asked about. We'll still give finger pointed as about the run, but we know there's still so much to play for between now and the end of the season, and for us to improve on being the 4th best team in Scotland at the minute, we need to start scoring a few goals and getting a few more wins.
You've got a great record against Kilmarnock. What are you expecting from them today? Have you seen anything different since Tommy Wright took charge?
It was the land of the Giants. When I seen the team line coming in, there was a few changes, and I think it's only wee Chris Burt that's under 6 foot, so a big side. Obviously Tommy's made a few changes for the game at Rangers. He'll be getting to know his players. He's without Power, who's a bit of an influential player, but he's brought the boy Dabo in, Malumbu and Dicker, vast experience. I think he'll lean on his experienced players, and Tommy will be finding out about his team. But I think what you'll get is, that directness of play up to Kabamba, and we need to make sure we try and nullify that threat initially, and make sure we're really competitive, as you always need to do against Tommy's team. So, but hopefully play at the right times, go and ask the question of them, and be good enough and take the positives from the performance against Celtic on Wednesday into a winning performance tonight.
Just finally, our pundits have been trying to work out your team's shape today. Can you enlighten them?
No, they'll still know when the game starts. They'll be half an hour in it and they'll still know. All right?
Thanks, Derek.
Cheers.
Billy Dodds, Willie Miller, our pundits this afternoon at Pittodrie. And they will know very quickly exactly what's happening. It might change a lot. It will change a lot. Like Derek Baines pointed out, we're still the 4th best team in Scotland. In terms of league matches this season, they've played, this year in 2021, they've played 10 games. They're second worst, and Kilmarnock are worst. They've both got 7 points from the 10 matches, so you can understand why the focus has been on the run of both teams. From an Aberdeen point of view, Willie, is it? And Derek sounded pretty upbeat there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So,
well, commenting on that.
Is it just about getting that goal, getting in front, and potentially getting that win?
Of course it is, Richard. Yeah, I mean, when you're in a run like this, you're in the mire and you're just looking for any kind of a little break that you can get. Derek spoke about the penalty. You would take that gladly. You would take anything, a deflected goal. I know, it doesn't really matter. I think it's just getting that question off of the top of the list to any broadcaster. And by the way, it's the broadcasters they should be having a go at. No, the pundits. The pundits have been very supportive of Derek McInnes. But we take it with tongue in cheek. We take that he was saying it flippantly and a bit of humour. And we move on, but it hasn't been good, Richard. The performances haven't been good. The Celtic performance in midweek was better, but it's still got a fair bit to go, I would suggest, and it needs to start today. This is a huge game for both clubs, but for Aberdeen, they really have got to hit the back of the net. They've got to find someone that's going to take the responsibility of being brave in front of goal and breaking that duck. Huge game for them.
Yeah, I mentioned Tommy Wright's decent record against Derek McInnes when he was St Johnstone manager. Of course, Derek McInnes, I believe, with an outstanding record against Kilmarnock. He hasn't lost in the 38 games he's played against Kilmarnock as Aberdeen manager. It's 31 all told since Killie last won at Pittodrie in the 15th of December 2012.
That bodes well, doesn't it? You have to take stats like that into account, because it's weird how football, there's some teams just suit playing one another, and when you get results like that, with Aberdeen against Kilmarnock, it must bode well going into the game. I'm sure, even to try and get an edge, Richard, your manager might even mention that in the game. I think I've got the shape of the team. Don't know if Willie's...
I'm just looking at Kilmarnock. That is the tallest team that I've seen for many years. It's only little Chris Burt. The rest of them are 6 foot, easily. Dear me, man, that is a tall team.
Right, okay. Land of the Giants.
I wonder how they're going to play then.
I have my guess.
Might not suit them with the wind, though.
It's not that windy, actually. There's a little breeze blowing.
I know they're just about to get going, but in terms of the Aberdeen team, then, are you thinking a 3 or a 4 at the back?
I'm thinking a 3, but I'm still thinking a 3, but it can easily go to a 4. Derek likes matching up as well at times, doesn't he? Listen, Richard,
he's even started games, Willie, where he's let a midfielder play in midfield for 10 minutes and then put him back to right back.
Absolutely, and as Derek says, we'll know anyway.
No. Well, you can prove him wrong over the course of the next couple of hours. Right, you do have a choice of listening, of course. Usual, I'm here just before 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon.
Chance, goal! Goal!
All the action from all the biggest games.
And that is spectacular. That is brilliant.
This is Sports Sound.
Beautifully worked. Expertly constructed.
From BBC Radio Scotland.
And that choice of listening, if it's full live commentary from Pittodrie, Aberdeen against Kilmarnock that you want, Liam and Willie on digital, 810 medium wave and online. It's open all mics, also online, bbc.co.uk/Sports Scotland. You'll find it on BBC Sounds and on 92 to 95 FM.
Listen live online at bbc.co.uk/Sports Scotland.
Sports Sound from BBC Radio Scotland.
So this is Sports Sound Open All Mics. James McFadden will be alongside me here in the studio to keep his eye on any of the big incidents that occur at the 4 Premiership matches, and we'll be across them. Let's quickly get to the Championship games, though. We'll get to Tynecastle first. Hearts against Morton. Heather Dewar.
Yeah, just underway now, 0-0. Morton making the trip to Tynecastle today, Richard, for the first time since 1988, which is quite incredible, really. A chance to make history should they beat Hearts on their home turf. Robbie Nielsen's men, though, eager to continue their charge for the title. Already 13 points clear of second-place Wraith Rovers, and they really want to keep that gap in play. The Hearts boss speaking today about the need for more aggression and attacking play after that disappointing 1-1 draw with Queen of the South last week. So they have a good head-to-head record against Morton. They beat them 2-0 at Capello the last time they met in December. Morton going into this game on a 7-game winless run. In terms of team news, first up, Robbie Nielsen serving a 2-match ban following the outcome of a recent SFA disciplinary hearing issued, if you remember, with a notice of complaint for allegedly breaching misconduct rules after last month's match against Wraith Rovers. So he's got a touchline ban for today's game Inverness too. A couple of changes for Hearts then from the match in Dumfries, with Naismith starting. A first start too for McInnes today. Irving and Walker dropping to the bench for Morton. 2 changes for them from the side that lost to Wraith Rovers a couple of weeks ago. They didn't play last week due to their match being postponed. So Jacobs and Salkeld starting. Jacobs' first appearance, in fact, since December, while Oliver drops to the bench and Miller is out altogether. So here they go then in terms of teams. It's Craig Gordon in goal for Hearts. And then it's Michael Smith, Liam Boyce, Stephen Naismith, Andy Halliday, Gary Mackay-Stephen, Aaron McInnes, Stephen Kingsley, Craig Halgett, Mihai Popescu and Jervan Castanier. On the bench for them, it's Ross Stewart, Peter Herring, Christoph Berra, Jamie Walker, Armand Nandouille, Andy Irving and Ewan Henderson. And for Morton today, they go with in goal. Then it's Michael Ledger, Brian McLean, Sean McGinty, Carl Jacobs, Aidan Nesbitt, actually making his 60th appearance for the club today. Cameron Salkeld, Craig McGuffey, Lewis Strapp, and Luca Colville. And on the bench for Morton, Marcus Fjortoft, Robbie Muirhead, Gary Oliver, Calvin Orsi, Reece Lyon, Keziah Sterling and Justin Johnson. And today's referee is David Dickinson.
Right, thank you. Yeah, Johnson just in at the door, a recent signing. Let's get East End Park at Dunfermline against Alloa Athletic. Alan Preston.
Richard, if you're underway, I'll give you the teams. It's Dunfermline first for Williams, and the goals are back 4 of Comrie, Watson, Ewan, Murray and Edwards, Fraser, Murray, Banks, Wilson and Mayo, with White in the new signing from Hearts, and McManus up front for Alloa. It's Parry in the goals, a back 4 of Robertson, Graham, Taggart and Dick, Hetherington and Skugel sitting in front of them, Williamson, Troughton and Colley and Cameron the lone striker. The referee for this one is Stephen Reid, and we're underway.
Can I just come in now?
You can, Derek.
Yes, because we've got a penalty kick for Queen of the South. It was Joseph, he's come in for Dobie today, just racing clear. I don't know what that, and they've made 3 changes in that back 4 of Dundee, but they've got the opportunity, and it's Obalai, who, as I remember, that little kind of run, skip and a jump before he hit it the last time out. I think it was against Hearts. So see if he's about to do it again, just running up. Yep, so we stutter, we skip, and he calmly slots it past the keeper down the right hand side. What a start for Queen of the South, 1-0 up.
Wow. I mean, they've found their form again, haven't they? And of course, Alan Johnson named the Championship Manager of the Month. They were really toiling, but it's 1 defeat now in the last, 7-8 games, and ahead at Dens Park very early on. Dundee 0, Queen of the South
Aberdeen had a great chance,
Yeah,
Richard.
Billy, I know. I mean, we need to. If there is a clear chance, we need to go to you this afternoon and make the most of these moments.
Yes, that's why I'm shouting. There's no doubt. It was a brilliantly worked opportunity. It was ball up to Fraser Hornby. He just flicked it first time, and Ferguson bust through it. Maybe he could have kept going, but he had a powerful shot that Colin Doyle had to beat away at his near post. So a good opportunity, good attempt from Aberdeen early on. Had to laugh as well when Willie said about how big they were and all 6 footers. Well, 9 of them. The first thing they did was take the centre or the kick off, and they shelled a diagonal to Chris Burke.
He's good in the air.
He is actually.
He is, Michael. I know.
Right, let's go quickly.
Sorry, I was just going to say that we had a delayed start here at Easter Road, and you know what happens sometimes with people being late out at Hamilton games. I can't confirm or deny what it was that held the linesman up, whether he was caught inside the changing room for some reason or not, but the linesman was late in coming out, and he turned up a couple of minutes late, and we're just 1 minute gone in this start here at Easter Road.
And that, of course, is Hibernian against Hamilton. It's Motherwell against St John's with Stephen. We'll get to him and to Julie, who's at Cimarron against Livingston. Let's just round things off in terms of the championship games this afternoon. Kenny Crawford at Gayfield are both against Wraith Rovers.
Yeah, 3 minutes in, Richard, where you can imagine it's nice and sunny and balmy and calm. Shorts and t-shirt weather up here, not. It's absolutely wild. The breakers and the waves are crashing against the beach that we can see just outside. But the teams, this is 8th against 2nd. They're both against Wraith Rovers, are both unbeaten in 6 actually, so they're in a good bit of form themselves. Derek Gaston in goals, back 4 Colin Hamilton, Ricky Little, Tam O'Brien and Jason Thompson. Midfield 3 of Ben Williamson, Scott Stewart, Michael McKenna. Front 3 of Dale Hilson, Chris Doolan and Bobby Lynn. Jack Hamilton's on the bench. He had a slight knock from the last game. And then Jimmy McDonald in goals for Wraith Rovers, back 4 of Kieran McDonald, Kyle Benedictus, Ian Davidson, Reagan Tumulty, Kai Kennedy, Dan Armstrong, Reagan Hendry and Dylan Tate across the midfield, and Jamie Gullen and Gozi Ukwu up front. So Wraith Rovers 2nd at the moment, looking for that chance to make up some ground on Hearts.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a really interesting game, given how our both have been going of late. Let's get our final open all micer in. He's at Somerset Park, Ayr United against Cally Thistle. Chick Young.
Yeah, and like Kenny, we've got deadliest catch weather down here as well as a Bonahooley.
You've got what kind of weather?
Deadliest catch. Never watched Deadliest Catch.
Deadliest Catch.
Good programme, Chick.
Classic channels.
Yeah, marvellous television. It's about boats and seas fishing.
Okay.
So anyway, deadliest catch weather. Ayr United have not, well actually, as I said that, of course, Inverness have got a free kick which will go into the Ayr box for the first time. It's blown behind Ayr United. They've had 4 corners already. They've pummeled everything on top of Inverness, who are defending the win in this first half. Big game this, Richard. Inverness are, you would think, they can still look forward to a playoff chance up the table, but they are 9th in the league at the moment. This is a huge game, of course. They've got games to catch up and everywhere else. 6 points off the playoff place, a game in hand over Dundee, so they really need to start getting points shortly. Ayr United have got one switch in their team. Dre Wright had a groin injury yesterday. I believe it wasn't in training, it was afterwards. Michael Moffat replaces him since City Salo in goal. Muirhead, Miller and Baba, Murdoch, Moffat, Chalmers, Cammy Smith, Walsh, McCowan and Baird. The starting 11 for Ayr United. They're on the bench here. Read the goalie: Hewitt, Mackenzie, Redding, Zanata, McGavin, Roscoe. United goal with captain Mark Richards. And actually, just a moment ago, there was a ball which was seen to be going well wide, well past the post. The one just caught it and just came back towards Richards, and he had to deal with it with a bit of panic in there at that stage. It just shows you what effect this wind will have in the game. So it's Richards in goal, Duffy Devine, Carson, Sutherland, McGregor, Harper, Allardyce, Dees, Danny Mackay, Nikolai Todorov, the starting 11 for Inverness Cally Thistle. On the bench, Mackay the goalie, Welsh, Keating, Story, Mackay, Nicholson and Hyde, and the referee is Peter Stewart.
I've got to say, I thoroughly enjoyed your interview with Graham Souness. If people weren't listening in on a Thursday night...
There's a goal.
Let's hear about the goal first.
Yeah, and it's against the run of play. It's a goal for Livingston. I think it's Serrano, but a very, very fortunate goal. It comes from a free kick, won by Riley on the right hand side, just at the corner of the box, and Sybil swings an in-swing and left-footed shot, and I think as one of the St Mirren defenders goes to clear it, it comes off. Is it Serrano? Yeah, I think it is Serrano. It comes off. Certainly that's who his teammates were celebrating with, and Livingston are 1 up.
And I actually wonder if it was the St Mirren player. In fact, is it
McCarthy?
Yeah. I think it might be McCarthy it hits.
Yeah, I think it's an own goal. They just don't deal with it, do they? It's a good
did he
ball
head and clear it off
He heads
McCarthy?
it, yeah, he heads it out the way and hits McCarthy and goes back into the goal.
Well, that's a second own goal of the season for Conor McCarthy. He scored one against Rangers earlier in the campaign.
The conditions here are having a massive impact in the game, and I think Livingston, maybe that was the second time they had been up the pitch, because they're against the wind at the moment, and the play has been all in the Livingston half.
Wow, an early own goal by Conor McCarthy. And Livingston, off the back of those successive defeats, get that break early on. St Mirren 0, Livingston 1. The Conor McCarthy own goal. Third St Mirren own goal of the season. Couple from him. Nathan Sheeran scored one against Ross County. They, Rangers and Ross County, have each scored 3 own goals this season.
There's nothing wrong with that, Richard. Come on.
Says the man who... You actually got... I think you probably got a trophy, didn't you, for the most own goals during the SPL era?
Yeah. Genuinely honest, I think it's 15 or 16. And it's not something I'm sitting proud of, because I'd many lonely nights sitting in the house thinking, oh my goodness, that just cost my team points. But that's the life of being a big, brave defender. That's what I like to tell people anyway, Richard.
Some return.
It is. Hey, Doddy, listen. Somewhere along the line, you have to make a name for yourself.
You changed yours, didn't you?
Craig and Og.
It's just interesting. Earlier on, you were talking about Alan Johnson getting manager of the month and his team going ahead. And here's his son, Max Johnson, at 17 years of age, making his Motherwell, his first start. He made his debut last weekend. And I'd said in the build-up, just the amount of injuries that Motherwell have. You know, they look a little bit disjointed at the minute. They're trying to get some rhythm in their play. Since Johnson are a side who are well drilled, well organised, and they're certainly in the front foot. But it's 0-0 here after 9.5 minutes.
Yeah, Inverness got the ball in the net, but it was clearly offside. It was Danny Mackay through, but I could see down there that he swept into the net, but clearly offside. So it's still 0-0, and it's still blowing a hole, Richard.
That might be. Yeah, you have opened up a Chick Young Hall of Fame, I learned on Thursday, and you're going to be interviewing the inductees, and Graham Souness was the first of those, and it was it passed in a flash. We're going to say it was great. Listen, he's such an intriguing, just a wonderful character to listen to.
We've already recorded, including Graham, 10 in the bank so far. We're piling them up, and they'll run on Sports Sound at some time in the near future. I think we've established a time yet, but Ken Dalglish, Paul Sturrock was really interesting, Andy Roxburgh, 10 in the bank of names of that.
Hamilton Accies have just hit the post, here, Chick, but a shot from the edge of the box from Marius Ogbo. I think it was just on the edge of the box. Young Josh Doig steps on top of the ball and rolled back to Ogbo, dropped his shoulder with the left foot, fired it in. It's actually gone behind for a corner kick. I didn't realise that Marciano had got a touch on it, but he must have, and he's pushed onto the post and put it behind for a corner kick. Hamilton coming very close there, but still 0-0.
They've started well, haven't they, Michael?
Yeah, they have. They've been bright. Just before that, a couple of minutes before, or not even a couple of minutes before, just not long before, Bruce Anderson was charging down into the corner, blocked Paul McGinn playing one up the line.
That's incredible. So, Sinny Salo, the United goalkeeper, launches a ball from the hand. I saw it coming. It bounced inside the Inverness area and over the goalkeeper, Mark Richards' head. I thought he was going to score, and it just shaved the top of the crossbar. That's how strong the wind is. It was nearly a goal from the goalkeeper. Incredible.
Still goalless in that one. And just in terms of the effort there by Ogbo, James, I don't think the goalkeeper got to that.
No, I think it must have hit off Doig when he's hit the shot. He never complained. So it must have took a deflection off of Doig on the way he hit the post, because Marciano was nowhere near it.
Well, there you go. I didn't think the defender was particularly close to it either. So
I must have been even seeing the replay, Mikey. I wasn't even sure there was a deflection.
It didn't look like there was, but it definitely wasn't Marciano getting a touch to it.
No. I was confused why it was a corner kick, because it didn't look as if there was a deflection by either the defender or the goalkeeper. But just like Faddy was saying there, Hamilton have actually started pretty bright. They've been knocking it about quite well, and they've had probably about 3, maybe 4 shots on goal already, including that one that hit the post. So a bright start from Hamilton so far.
Stephen, just you mentioned there you think there was about 15 or 16 own goals. How many did you get at the other end?
7. It's funny.
I think my career was. I mean, I scored some international ones as well, Richard. You know, there's no point in just doing in the league. You might as well put in
well, come on, add up the internationals as well. You've got to do yourself justice, Craig.
I think it was the highest level, don't you?
No, he means own goals in the national level.
Talking about, I mean,
what about goal? Did you score at the other end for Northern Ireland?
No. That was too sexy, Michael. There's not many players have scored for Rangers, Celtic, Portugal and Spain, Richard, put it that way.
Oh, there's a tackle here, sorry Craigs, but the Hibs players are right round the referee. I'm not 100% sure there was a great deal of a problem. I mean, no doubt it was a foul. Martin Boyle's gone down, and the referee looked to go to his pocket, and it's a red card. He's sending it. It's a red card. It's sent off. I'm not actually 100% sure. Maybe you could help me out.
Jamie Hamilton.
Is it Jamie Hamilton? Is it?
Poor Jamie.
It's sent off, and he's obviously got sent off. And was it his debut? He got sent off as well. Hamilton against.
He got sent off 3 times last season.
Oh yeah. Well, he's been given his marching orders here. If you can look at it again, yes, it's a foul. Yes, he catches Martin Boyle. Is it a red card? I'm not 100% sure it is.
It looks like, I know he's quite far out, but it looks like if Boyle gets past him, he's going into the box. But he does look late. It's just coming up now.
I mean, it's out. It's out. For me, it's out in the wider area. He's 40 yards from goal. I don't think you could say
goal.
Alan, well, I'll come back to that. Let's hear about the goal.
Craig Whiting on his debut for Dunfermline. It's a ball into the left-hand side. And it's a lovely little flick the outside of his right foot, putting it beyond the keeper Neil Parry. Dunfermline 1, Alloa 0.
So, the opening goal in that one, Jamie Hamilton. There were 3 red cards last season. 1.
Oh, and it's a goal! Hibs have got themselves 1 up. Martin Boyle from the edge of the box, just to compound the misery for Hamilton. It was the initial free kick that worked its way out, and then with the next wave of the attack, Martin Boyle picks it up on the inside left channel. He cuts it in his right foot, and he curls it into the far corner. I've got to be honest and say, again, Fad, you can have a look at this, but I think the goalkeeper's got to do better there.
There's not a lot of power in it,
is there? Ryan Fulton, he just looks as if he's slow to move his body and get across. But, Martin Boyle will be delighted. Good goal from his perspective, but I think the goalkeeper could have done better, and that's Hibs 1-0 up, and Hamilton down to 10 men as well.
He's also got an issue. Clearly, I didn't realise Martin obviously wears contact lenses, because he's having a major issue trying to put a contact lens back in, I think, in the wake of that. It's just one of those horror moments, minutes, if you like, for the Yankees. They get the man sent off, they concede the goal, and you are looking for your keeper to save it.
Yeah, he's slow to react, and it bounces just in front of him. You come back to the challenge. I think Hamilton actually gets a touch on the ball, but I don't know if it's because of the follow through. I'd have to see it again, but first thoughts is
it's quite harsh,
harsh red card for me.
Aye. I don't know. Only the referee.
Let's hear about the opportunity. Just in case.
Well, Kilmarnock had a chance from a corner. I think it was Dickett at the back post. Joe Lewis gets it at the near post, saves it, bowls it out to Fraser Hornby. He goes the full length of the pitch. Millen doesn't know whether to go to him or not. He drops off him. He goes inside Hornby. He curls a beautiful effort. I'm thinking it's gone in, and it's just missed the left-hand post. And I think that'll be the end of Fraser Hornby. He looks as if he's pulled his groin or something with that shot.
Can't help you. Everything's just went off in here.
It may also be the end of James McFadden's VAR, because all the screens have just gone. Just wrapping up in terms of Jamie Hamilton, sent off in the Lanarkshire derby against Motherwell in August of 2019. He was sent off also against Celtic in February, and then a couple of weeks later against Hearts, although that one was rescinded. I heard him on the one of the programmes actually during the week with Kenny, and that was lovely guy, great guy, good. Really good guy, young man, head switched on, and just seems to be in a really good place.
He won't be back on now.
He'll be. Actually, Kenny brought that up. All the
Kenny's fault.
It's Kenny's fault. The ref was listening in, obviously.
I wonder if anybody's going to quiz Kenny on that.
Aye, with time. Poor Jamie. Anyway, he's off, and Hamilton behind. And it's just little moments like that, isn't it? They've shown so much resilience, the Yankees, Michael. That's something to try to bounce back from, that double hammer blow there.
Yeah, well, it is. There's no doubt about it, because as we were talking about, they started the game fairly brightly. But to go down to 10 men and then to go down by a goal as well, with such close proximity to the red card, they need to just steady themselves, make sure they don't fall too far behind. if they manage to keep themselves, within touching distance, then they'll keep a chance of getting something out of the game, because Hibs at home they've lost a lot of points, and there's a number of occasions this season where they've been in a position like this and they've not been able to see a game out. So that's the goal for Hamilton at the moment, is just to make sure that they can keep themselves within touching distance of Hibs. But going back to the red card, I've only seen it live at the one time, and I just instinctively thought it was harsh. There was a number of Hibs players right round Craig Napier, the referee. It wasn't as if they rushed on
Richard, goal.
Stephen Craigan goal.
Sorry, I've got to say, Farry, when this comes in, what a sensational strike by Guy Melamed. Sean Rooney wins the ball off Jake Carroll midway inside the Motherwell half. He drives forward, plays it to Melamed out in the right-hand side, chops onto his left foot and guides it into the far top corner in front of the Davy Cooper stand. Liam Kelly was full stretch, and I have to say St Johnstone have deserved it. They've been the better side since the start. Motherwell can't get out of their own half, and it's 1-0 to the Saints.
I've got to say, we're thoroughly enjoying watching the celebrations of that goal, but we ain't seen that. Well, here it comes now.
I saw it as it came in,
right,
Richard.
the screen keeps going.
Fantastic finish. Yeah, he chops onto his left, and Liam Kelly, no chance. Melamed celebration suggests that he probably doesn't score many from outside the box, because it's almost like, I've scored. It's a brilliant finish. He had 3 men round him. Probably do everything right in terms of showing him onto his left foot, but it's a fantastic strike, and as I said, Liam Kelly, absolutely no chance.
It's a third goal for Guy Melamed for St Johnstone. Took him a wee while to get in the team, of course, getting up to fitness, but he's made a bit of an impact, and that was the goal. Yep.
So the great strike from Josh Doig on the edge of the box. It actually was a good save from Fulton on that occasion. It was a corner, came in. I thought he maybe could have got a foul.
Billy Dodds!
Aberdeen have scored it from a free kick. Brilliant ball in by Niall McGinn, and I'm sure it's a sub just on Callum Hendry, who's got on the end it and bulleted a header high into the net. It is Aberdeen 1, Kilmarnock 0.
Celebrations getting underway at Pittodrie. What a sense of relief. Finally, all
is
those...
Is it Callum Hendry?
Yes. Yeah, it is.
Can we all go home now, Richard?
Well, all the stats can be...
We can watch other games now.
Well, a bullet header. Right, young man, he's clearly in and out of that St Johnstone team. Struggled to get a start there. He hasn't been getting starts for Aberdeen, but... James, a very great ball, first of all, by McGinn, and a powerful header.
Yeah, it's a great ball in from McGinn. Henry is all alone. I think it's DiCamona that's supposed to be picking him up. He's nowhere near him. Alone. But it's a brilliant header, back across goal. Goalkeeper, absolutely no chance. It's a great ball in and a brilliant finish, you have to say. And I actually thought Fraser Hornby looked sharp, when he was on the little flick round the corner, his chance that he had. And you're thinking, is that going to be, him getting into a rhythm? He obviously has to go off. And Callum Hendry, what an introduction. A fantastic header.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. It's a first goal for Aberdeen, a third of the season, and it puts an end to that horrible run for Aberdeen. Kilmarnock, of course, now need to score if they are to put an end to the horrible run that they are experiencing. 1-0 Aberdeen against Kilmarnock, 1-0 Hibernian against Hamilton. Martin Boyle scoring for the 4th successive match. Only James Tavernier and Odsonne Edouard have had better runs this season. Yes.
What a defensive header from Odoffin, I tell you. If you keep an eye out for this, Martin Boyle's in the right wing area. He looks as if he's played an inch perfect ball over the top of Odoffin for Christian Deutsch, and he's got a diving backward header cutting out the through ball. It's an absolute beauty.
Incredible. Lots of action going on early doors at Easter Road. Hibernian 1, Hamilton 0. Jamie Hamilton sent off. Martin Boyle with a goal. What a run he's on as he moves into double figures for the campaign. Guy Melamed with a goal for St Johnstone. That's the goal of a man, James, who fancies starting in a cup final in a week's time.
Yeah, he does. And going by Callum's pre-match, it was, he picked the team based on the pitch. They're obviously expecting a better pitch next week. So, yeah, he's just sent a little reminder to Callum to say, look, I'm still here. I think since he's come into the team, he's been really good. He's linked the play well. He's linked up well with Chris Kane, and I think he's brought Chris Kane on as well. He's kind of eased the burden for Chris Kane up front. He's been really good, and you want your strikers to score goals, don't you? So it'll be tough for Callum to leave him out if he had any inkling of leaving him out next week.
Yeah, 1-0 St Johnstone, 1-0 Livingston, the early own goal by Conor McCarthy, and Callum Henry is the man who goes into the record books as the player who finally ended that run of Aberdeen's. It came in the 21st minute, so the blank run ends after 573 minutes. From their point of view, now, Doddsy, it's about concentrating and going on and actually getting out. It's all very well scoring, but they've got to go on and now start to try to get the season up and running again.
Yeah, if they win this one, I mean, Kilmarnock, they can want to try a shot there from about 40 yards against the wind, putting them miles over. Yeah, but it's going to be tough, Richard, even in this game. I know they've taken the lead, but Kilmarnock were showing, as I said, pre-match, a structure, looking as if they're hard to beat, coming off the ball, keep a good shape about them, and then they gave away that silly free kick that led to the goal. From an Aberdeen point of view, yeah, they've scored. They would like to get a couple more, and I think Derek McInnes would like to enjoy this one more, but I'm sure he'll take a 1-0 win. But it's going to take a lot of concentration and make sure they get through the rest of the game to see this one out.
Richard, brilliant chance up at Arbroath for Chris Doolan. Arbroath have been really impressive this first 20 minutes or so, despite the conditions. They've had the ball down in the deck despite the wind, but the ball came to Chris Doolan from Jason Thompson from the right hand side, and he was about to unleash a shot right on goal from about 6 yards, but Dylan Tate, the Raith Rovers midfielder who came in for Brad Spencer at short notice today, brilliant block tackle to keep it at 0-0, and here's Dale Hilson with a chance, but that's blocked as well. But really good stuff from Arbroath so far. Arbroath 0, Raith Rovers 0.
I don't know, Kenny, what it's like in terms of the wind at Arbroath, but here at Ayr I've got this real gale behind them at the moment. I don't know why the players don't anticipate this is going over the head of the defender. Take a gamble and get yourself moving. I know the boys who played the ex-pros in the programme, it's sometimes it's just as difficult to play with the wind as it is at your backs, and I just think anticipate it and say it's going to go over the defender's head.
Yeah, the thing I felt sorry for up here at Gayfield, Chick, was Thomas O'Brien. The first minute, the thing you don't want to happen in a day like this is to get caught flush in the face with the ball from close range. That's what happened to Tam O'Brien, and he was down for about 3 minutes. I don't think he'd a nosebleed, but it really caught him cold.
What a start it has been around the country.
Goal!
Oh, Chick Young!
Oh, it's been chalked off for offside. Just what we're talking about, Richard. Honest, just this time they gambled and went, and, as I was saying, and caught offside. It was a lovely ball floated in from Tom Walsh to the far post, and just went too early. I thought the ball was never going to. Yeah, it's chalked off for offside, so it's still 0-0.
Okay, thank you.
Shall I give you an update from Tynecastle, Richard?
Yeah.
Still goalless here, but what a play so far from Matt. Making his first start for Hearts today. He's been so impressive. Early chance for him around 4 minutes in. Didn't want to interrupt Kenny's team news at that point, but really good chance. Close range strike. Hammered it at McAdams, the Morton keeper. Saved it nicely there. Then Popescu. A brilliant chance where Boyce cross into the middle of the box. Popescu just waiting for it, but then he skied it over the crossbar. Then McInnes came in with a lovely strike. Must have been from around 22 yards, which flew into the arms of the keeper. And Popescu had a bit of a chance from a header. He picked up it from a corner but cracked it over the crossbar again, and then Michael Smith came in with a shot a short while ago from an angle right of the box, just slightly wide though of the post. So Hearts at the moment just absolutely all over Morton. Morton are occasionally getting it on the break and getting it down the other end into the box, but can't really find anyone to do anything with it. Nisbet's kind of been picked a bit on the right, so yeah, 0-0 here, but as I said, McInnes looking really good for Hearts.
Both teams are not having their troubles to seek this one, Richard. Dickamona's going to have to go off now. I don't know if it was after that shot he had. He's holding the back of his leg, so I can only assume it's the old hamstring that's gone. But Zach Medley, he's just going to come on just now. So Kilmarnock having to make a substitution as well as Aberdeen.
Not a great start for Killie, and remember Aberdeen, we talked about all the known scoring stats for Killie. It was 7 successive defeats going into this one, the worst of the season. It's the third time they've had a similar run during the Premiership era. During that time only Dundee have had a worse run. They lost 10 on the bounce back in 18-19. If you're talking about the SPL era, back from 1998 through to 2013, Aberdeen and Partick Thistle both lost 10 in a row. The worst run was Livingston's, 13 in a row back in 2005, 2006. So Killie still a long way short of that, but Tommy Wright will be desperate to get that first point on the board. It's Aberdeen though who have the advantage. Callum Henry with a powerful header from a Niall McGinn free kick. as they break their drought. Aberdeen 1, Kilmarnock 0. Martin Boyle has got the goal for Hamilton. He scored in 4 successive matches. That's 10 for the season. Hibernian 1, Hamilton 0. Jamie Hamilton sent off for a foul on Boyle just before the goal.
There's also been a substitution here, Richard, with it was Marius Ogpo's gone off with I don't know whether it was a twisted knee or whether it was a hamstring injury, but he was charging down to try and block Darren McGregor in the corner. McGregor slid tackle and played the ball back to Marciano, and he didn't move great since then. He got up, he was holding his knee or the back of his knee. It looked like a hamstring maybe. Anyway, he's had to go off, and Moyo has come on in his place. So Hamilton don't have their troubles to seek at the moment, and Christian Doige is in behind. It's gone out for a corner kick. Oh no, the referee's given a bye kick. I'm not sure how that was a bye kick, but anyway, still 1-0 to Hibs, and Hamilton have got a few problems.
And just when they get a settled side, Richard, you know, and he's been looking for that, you know, and obviously I was worried about suspensions, but obviously injuries as well. That's going to impact Takis, because that's his strongest 11. He's going to really, I don't think they've got strength and depth on the bench. That'd be a worry for Chipper.
1-0 for Hibernian, and not a great start for the Yankees. Stephen.
Sorry, Richard. Great chance. Almost 2-0 for St Johnstone. Great play down the left-hand side with David Wotherspoon and Callum Booth. He flashes the ball across goal. I think it's Guy Melamed at the back post. Full stretch. Can't make connection. Motherwell are riding their luck. Still 1-0 to St Johnstone.
It was a Guy Melamed goal. Really good strike in the 19th minute, third of the season. At Cimarron 0, Livingston 1. Second own goal this season by Conor McCarthy. Didn't know anything about it, which gave Livingston the lead in Paisley. In the Championship, it's Arbroath 0, Wraith Rovers 0, Ayr United 0, Cally Thistle 0, Dundee 0, Queen of the South 1. They've been on a great run of late, Alan Johnson's team, and Ayo Obolai scoring from the penalty spot again. 6 for the season, 3 have been penalties. Craig Whiten out on loan at Dunfermline from Hearts. He scored 7 for Hearts earlier in the campaign. He scored his first for the Pars this afternoon. Dunfermline 1, Alloa Athletic 0, and it is Hearts 0, Morton 0 in the other game at Tynecastle. In the Premier League, Burnley and West Brom goalless in the 3 o'clock kickoff. It finished Southampton 1, Chelsea 1 in the lunchtime game. Takumi Minamino with his second goal for Southampton, 5th of the season all told. Also a 5th of the campaign for Mason Mount. He scored from the penalty spot to earn Chelsea a point in that game at St Mary's. Southampton 1, Chelsea 1. Right, to the Premiership. The action certainly unfolding around the country. We've had a goal in each of the 4 matches. And of course, the big one, because it ended all the stats, Billy Dodds, came from the forehead of Callum Henry.
Yeah, the immortal words, Aberdeen have scored, doesn't it? It was a brilliant goal as well. Yeah, Faddy's right. The marking was terrible. It wasn't just Henry, it was free, Richard. It was 2 or 3 Aberdeen players. And then, I mean, when you leave them with that sort of opportunity, there's still a bit to do, but I thought it was more about the cross. I mean, the header was great, but just get the right contact on it and it flies into the net. So it's a big moment for the young lad. They've been comfortable since they've got the goal, Aberdeen. They all want a bit of the ball now. That wasn't the case at the start of this game, but it's going their way. Kilmarnock have to dig in and find a way and try and get back in this game and get the all-important equaliser.
And of course the big thing for Kilmarnock, and they weren't on quite as bad a run as Aberdeen, but they hadn't scored in their last 4 league matches going into this one, so he needs to find something at that end of the park, Tommy Wright.
He does, and it doesn't look likely just now. I was talking about how good a structure they've got, and they've certainly got that. I mean, they're digging in, they are competing, but they don't look a goal threat. And listen, Kyle Lafferty, as soon as that goal went in, was told to warm up, so
goal.
Options.
Let's hear about a goal from Chick.
Unbelievably, it's for Inverness Cally Thistle. It's Ayr with that huge breeze, to say the least, behind them. Danny Mackay, they're on a break. They were 3-2 when they get forward. Ayr were caught flat at the back, played into Mackay, and he slots the ball beyond Cindy Sarwell, their United goal. And against the wind, the pressure, the possession, it is Ayr United 0, Inverness Cally Thistle 1.
It's a 3rd goal of the season.
Goal here
yes,
as well,
Chile.
Richard. Yep, it's an equaliser for St Mirren. It's McPherson, who absolutely terrific strike. With his left foot, I think, as he was driving forward, ball laid off to him, driving forward, and yes, they've got the wind, but a great strike, and probably what you would say St Mirren do deserve, because they have been the better side.
Richard, it looks as if Hamilton might have more problems here. Scott Martin does exceptionally well to track back with Josh Doig, puts a great sliding tackle in to stop the attack, and he lands, and it looks as if he's maybe hurt his shoulder. The physios are on with him now. I mean, he's got great energy, Martin. He's been chasing about. Also, they're down to 10 men, putting real pressure at the top end, and on this occasion, you know, tracking back and helping his defence out. Hopefully it's not too serious, but he's getting treatment from the physios, and it's clearly that he's landed on his left shoulder, I think. Hopefully it'll be okay and he can carry on, but yeah, things are mounting up for Hamilton, although they are still only 1-0 behind.
Yeah, 1-0 thanks to that Martin Boyle goal. Caley Thistle in front at Somerset Park. Daniel Mackay, third of the season. It's 4 draws and 2 defeats in their last 6 matches for Caley Thistle. They've got games to catch up, and every team above them right now. That's why they've slipped back down into second bottom spots. I guess some sides have played 4 games more than Caley Thistle have, but they desperately need to start winning, and they're ahead in that game against Ayr thanks to young Daniel Mackay in the 31st minute. Cammy McPherson with the goal. James, you get a chance to watch a rerun of that strike against Livingston?
Yeah, it was a magnificent strike. It was good hold-up play by Abika to play a little reverse pass into Cammy McPherson's path, and he just curls it near post, round the goalkeeper and off the post. Fantastic strike.
Let's hear about the Kabamba chance.
It's through 1-on-1. He had to lift it, but he just kicked it straight at Joe Lewis. He did well. Narrowed angle, comes out. It was just a ball clipped in that corner, Richard. No, the open corner, you know it well. And it kind of helped the ball go from out to in, and it put it right into Kabamba's path. He's through. He's at the angle. If he can lift it, he probably beats Joe Lewis. It's a good save, but it was a real opportunity for Kilmarnock to equalise.
I think he tries to go through Joe Lewis's legs, but he's got his Packy's favourite, the old 5-point save. He's ready for it. He should lift it. He should lift it. Yeah, I think Joe Lewis does well. He makes it, you know, himself big enough. But Kabamba definitely tries to go through his legs. I think he's got a better chance if he lifts it. Yeah. It's a brilliant chance.
So it's still 1-0 for Aberdeen in that encounter. Callum Henry finally ending their long...
Oh, and it's a penalty kick for Hibs. It's a corner kick originally. Martin Boyle plays it, so much height in it. Not defended well at all. Dan McGregor's round the back free. He heads it back in towards the 6-yard box. Christian Doidge nips in front of a couple of defenders. He goes down off easy for me. Anyway, Craig Napier, no doubt, he points straight away to the penalty spot. Martin Boyle's going to step up and take this, and Hibs have a chance to go 2-0 up. But it looked like a soft one for me, I've got to be honest. The striker does well. He reacts quicker, he gets in front of the Hamilton defenders, but he went down very easily, and Martin Boyle's just about to step up now, although he's waiting for the ball to settle because it's pretty windy here, and it's saved. Ryan Fulton goes to his right, gets his hands on it and puts it behind for a corner kick.
Right, was it a penalty, James McFadden?
No idea. There's not a good enough angle.
I've got to say,
it does look like it goes down pretty easily. I can't see if there's any contact. No chance.
It's just that's not what they say. Listen, I've no idea.
Aye, well, you can tell.
What are you going to say in sports scene tonight then?
I'll have a better look at it.
He'll have his minions show him lots of replays.
Do his job for him.
Slow it all down and let him have a good look at it. I mean, he steps up pretty confidently with the penalty.
It's just at the right height, though,
yeah,
Richard.
It is.
Yeah. He's hit it with good power, though. Yeah. It's a good save. Got to give a goalie credit.
Yeah, and we had doubts perhaps over Ryan Fulton for the goal he did concede, but he's kept his team in it there. It's a 5th penalty Hamilton have conceded this season, the first that hasn't been scored. From Hibs' point of view, they've had 9 spot kicks, and Martin Boyle has been 3 out of 3 up till now. Kevin Nisbet missed a couple. Christian Doidge has also scored a couple of penalties. Boyle, given his goal-scoring run he's been on, he'd have been full of confidence and expecting to find the net there, but it was a save by Ryan Fulton. So it remains Hibernian 1, Hamilton 0. Plenty going on in that one. Boyle has scored, and it's for a 4th successive match as he gets into 10 goals for the season. Jamie Hamilton, remember, sent off before that goal. And the Ackies with a long way to play with just the 10 men. So still 1-0 Hibernian against Hamilton. Let's go to Fir Park. Stephen watching Motherwell and St Johnstone, and the Saints still in front.
They are indeed, Richard. Listen, we've just had the strangest booking here.
It's a second, sorry,
Derek Ferguson.
It's a second goal for Queen of the South. I'm just trying to see, I think it's number 15, and my team sheet is just blew away. I'm having a nightmare here, but I can tell you the Queen of the South have certainly scored. It was a brilliant ball from Gibson down the right hand side. He shapes to put it in with his right, goes back onto his left, and it's an in-swinging one. Yep, and it's I'm just having a wee look down because you don't get team sheets here, as you know.
Well, how can it blow away then?
I think it's well, it's a team sheet that I have tried to manufacture, and it's McGrory 15.
Right. Well, we'll absolutely get that confirmed, but it is a second goal.
I can
Queen
confirm that,
wow.
Richard. And do you know, I've been quiet for long periods, and probably because it's just an admiration of Charlie Adam. I know he's playing on a side that are 2-0 down. He's been brilliant. His range of passing, he's just ahead of the rest of them in terms of his quick thinking. And it's the boys, you know, you've got Cummins up top, so I mean, they're quality players. We've got McMullen, McGowan as well, but they're just not, you know, given as good as what they should. He's just been a star man,
right? Which is great. I mean, it's lovely to watch, but of course the score is going Queen of the South way right now. But football's just crazy, isn't it? I mean, the first 13 games of the season, Queens won only 2. They'd lost 4 on the bounce. That's them now. Had only 1 defeat in the last 8. And
in a playoff place now, Richard.
Well, yeah, absolutely, in a very strong position to make it
that was a full new team, Richard, they had to bring in. They only had like 4 players in total, so it takes time. It takes time to get them gel together and playing as a team. So he's done a great job. Here.
Cummins, just strikes it past the left-hand post. But I think what they've done really, I like their shape today. It's they've got Dobie is. Well, he played during the week against Inverness, which he won 0, but he's on the bench. But they've got Joseph up top, but they've got the big centre back, Oberlai, just playing in front of the back 4, and he's been excellent today as well. But I've just been sitting back watching Charlie Adams. He's too good for this level, simple as.
Yeah. Look, I mean, they've been in a decent enough run, and they were in a playoff place at the start of play today, and they've got 3 games in hand on Queen of the South, who will overtake them right now. But it's not a good afternoon in terms of the scoreline for Dundee, who have been on a fine run. I haven't lost at home since the 4th of January. That's 9. In fact, the 4th of January 2020. I was going to say they've packed 9 home games into the last few weeks, so it's over a calendar year. Of course, it was a long time they weren't playing.
And the scorer, Richard, it's Breen. It's been Breen, the boys on loan from Rangers. Just a glancing header. It just come off. I think it come off the keeper's knee, maybe the inside of the post. But 2-0 to Queen of the South.
I saw them during the week there. They're hitting the counter attack. They've got real pace. Queen of the South.
Jones in the left-hand side. But Gibson as well. Again, he's one of the the old-timers, the most experienced. He's been wonderful as well. You know, playing right back, but he's doing a hell of a shift getting up, and he's put some brilliant deliveries in.
Rhys Breen with a goal in the 37th minute to add to the Aya Oberlai penalty. It is Dundee 0, Queen of the South 2. It's still Dunfermline 1, Alloa Athletic 0. Much happening in that one, Alan?
Well, Dunfermline are a good side, Richard. You can see that. You know, they've got a lot of power and pace. Banks is on loan, obviously. Whiting's joined them. McManus will play up front as well. Moyo on the left. Really good pace in the forward areas. They're dominating this game. But just as you come to me there, Trouton's had a shot, right foot, just wide of the target for Alloa. That's been their only effort so far. It's been all Dunfermline who lead 1-0.
Hearts and Morton, last we heard, Hearts on top, but still being held goalless, Heather Dewar.
Yeah, though I have to say, have been coming into a little bit. 37 minutes in the first real chance. I mean, it wasn't really a chance. It was more a stroke of luck, really. But a Nisbet cross in from outside the box, left of the pitch. Really nice ball, actually. It floated in and curled onto the crossbar, so just bounced off that. But then moments later, great opportunity for Salkel to come in with a close-range strike from a Nisbet cross in. And unfortunately for him, it went wide. So Morton are starting to come back. Hearts starting to tire a certain amount, but you know, if we look at it in general terms, they're still pretty much on top of it. But yeah, 0-0. There was a nice little sweet shot, by the way, which again may have just been a stroke of luck by Boyce around 10 minutes ago or so, with a little back-heeled flick. It looked like it might go in for a minute, but again it bounced off the top of the crossbar and landed on the top of the net. But that would have been some goal if it had gone in.
Goalless Hearts against Morton are both unbeaten in their last 6. Wraith Rovers have been, well, it's gone win-loss, win-loss, win-loss in recent times. How's that game at Gayfield?
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned that record, Richard, because Wraith seem to win all their Saturday games and lose all their midweek games. This is a Saturday game. We'd expect them to be doing better. It's been all Arbroath at Gayfield, and Arbroath have just had another brilliant chance. It was Ben Williamson on loan from Rangers, put through by a brilliant pass by Scott Stewart. He tried to round Jamie McDonald, but Jamie McDonald, as we all well know, so much experience, and that is the kind of goalkeeper you want in your between the sticks in that kind of situation, because he plucked the ball from between Ben Williamson's feet without giving away a penalty and kept it safe for Raith Rovers at the back. So it's still Arbroath 0, Raith Rovers 0, but Arbroath very impressive. Bobby Lynn down the left, very lively. Scott Stewart and Michael McKenna in the centre of midfield, very creative. And Dale Hilson is a bit of a pest up front as well for the Raith defenders, but 0-0 at the moment.
Incidentally, Kenny, we just had an official request from Dundee. They want you to drive the 20 miles along the coast to get to Dens Park, because you've got this remarkable records.
Yeah,
when you're
normally
reporting on them.
Normally when I'm at a Dundee game, Dundee definitely don't lose, so I'll maybe join Derek at half time and see how things go.
Well, they're asking for a transfer. Fergie, you know your way to Arbroath for the second half?
I'm enjoying this game. Charlie Adams, excellent. And the weather's actually no bad.
Right, good. Yes, you enjoy your afternoon.
The part's not too good, I've got to say. It's cutting up pretty badly, but not so much wind. But no, just watching the classy Charlie Adams.
Right, Dundee 0, Queen of the South 2, Ayr United 0, Cali Thistle 1, Dunfermline 1, Alloa 0, and goalless are both against Raith Rovers and Hearts against Morton. Still 1-0 in 3 of the Premiership matches, and of course tied up 1 apiece in Paisley. Julie's there for us. It was a first goal. Incredible to think first goal of the season for Cammy McPherson to get Cimarron back on level terms. Has that been merited given the play?
Yeah, I think Cammy McPherson himself has been very lively. He's been getting the ball down. It's difficult conditions, but he's the one player on the pitch that's trying to get the ball down and really play football. And they've got Abika and Connolly up front, and they're really stretching the game, trying to get in behind. Connolly uses pace, and that's allowing a bit of space for McPherson as well. So, yeah, I would say 1-1 is pretty even, and you would say that's a good result at this moment in time.
Well, Livingston in front through the Conor McCarthy own goal, and then that great strike by Cammy McPherson. You can see the highlights tonight on Sports Scene. That's the BBC Scotland channel at 7:30. James McFadden with me this afternoon. Then he'll be nipping along to help out our television colleagues. You get James' thoughts on all the big incidents. He's our VAR this afternoon, taking the opportunity to watch all 4 games and probably miss most of the key moments and all of that. It's just you look at one screen and you just know that something happens in another.
Alloa equalise. It's a shot from the edge of the box. It takes a wicked deflection. The goalie goes one way, the ball goes completely the other. It's into the back of the net. It's Kevin Colley who's going to get it.
Right, let's see.
That's half time at Tynecastle, by the way.
That excitement wasn't for the half time whistle, surely.
No, sorry, Richard, it came from me, Stephen Craig.
That wasn't you.
Yeah, honestly, Liam Craig, it came from a corner kick, edge of the box. Liam Craig had a shot from 25 yards, hit the crossbar, bounced back out. Sean Rooney then headed, Jason Kerr then headed off the crossbar. It then came back to Sean Rooney, who has absolutely smashed it home.
It was Kerr that scored.
Was it Jason Kerr? Sorry, I wasn't too sure if it was Rooney and Kerr, but it was Jason Kerr that scored, and St Johnstone have fully deserved the lead by 2 goals in this first half. Motherwell have been awful, and St Johnstone have been dominant.
I think we'd all like to congratulate you on hitting that high C.
I was laughing until I seen it. I was laughing at Craig's, because I knew there was something happening. Then the delayed pictures come in, and you can see exactly why. It was crazy.
Whoa,
absolutely crazy. I think Liam Kelly actually tips it onto the bar. And then Rooney, it looks like he should score. It bounces back to Jason Kerr. Motherwell will have a chance to deal with it. They don't. And it's a good finish from Jason Kerr. Take nothing away from him. But you can't defend like that. You cannot defend like that and expect to keep the ball out of the net. Full credit to St Johnstone. They have been the better side from what I've seen. I was actually going to ask, Craig, have Motherwell offered anything going forward?
I think Liam Polworth had their only attempt on target after 32 minutes. He had a shot from 25 yards, which Xander Clark comfortably dealt with. But apart from that, they have been non-existent in the game.
And that is half-time in the match.
Yeah, it is indeed half-time at Fir Park. 2-0 St Johnstone.
Jason Kerr, 3rd goal of the season. He scored against Kelty Hearts in the League Cup. He scored, of course, the first goal in the semi.
What a chance at Easter Road. Chris Cadden blazes it over the crossbar. It was a good counter from Hibs. Martin Boyle was slipped down the inside left channel. He was breaking forward. He had the awareness to lift his head, and he cut the ball across almost right along the penalty spot. And Chris Cadden comes into the back post area, steps onto it, perfectly weighted, and he puts it high and wide. Still 1-0 to Hibs.
Half-time at Gayfield, Arbroath 0, Raith Rovers 0.
OK, goals it is.
Half-time at St Mirren Park as well. 1-1, goal apiece.
Yep, Cammy McPherson cancelling out the Conor McCarthy own goal.
Half-time at Pittodrie, Richard. It's Aberdeen 1, Kilmarnock 0.
Callum Henry with a bullet header for his first goal for the club. He joined on loan right at the end of the January transfer window.
There's a chance there, Richard, for United to draw level. Luke McGowan, there's a half-time whistle's gone, but it was Luke McGowan right on the post. He should have buried the header, but it was a fine save actually by Mark Ridgers. 1-0 to Caley Thistle, half-time at Somerset Park. Incidentally, that pitch is in magnificent condition, I have to say.
Half-time, Richard, Dundee 0, Queen of South 2.
Obalai and Breen were the goals for the visitors in that one. Dunfermline 1, Alloa Athletic 1.
Half-time, Richard, at that very said game. 1-1.
Kevin Colley with a deflected equaliser, which will go down as a 5th goal of the season for him. That leaves us, I think, as Michael had anticipated, with just the one game still going, they were a little bit late in getting underway because they were missing it was an assistant, wasn't it? Linesman they were missing at the start of the game. Martin Boyle's goal still separates, but so much has happened in that match. That Jason Kerr goal, scored against Hibs in the League Cup semi-final, scored against Kelty Hearts earlier in the competition. First league goal of the season. He's not a regular scorer, but I'm wondering whether I don't actually have all the stats right in front of me. It might be his first Premiership goal for St Johnstone, certainly his first in the league this season, and it's St Johnstone who are shaping up very nicely. Yet again, they had been on a very good run, of course, did lose out narrowly to Celtic, and I know Callum Davidson was very upset at the turnaround in that game. Said it was a hard one to take. Prior to that, there had been a defeat against Rangers, but some very good wins and the semi-final romp against Hibernian, and they are heading to victory right now, it seems, against Motherwell at Fir Park. 2-0 it is. Melamed and Kerr were the goals. They are still playing and into stoppage time at Easter Road. There may be a little bit of that as well, of course. There was the penalty and the delay that causes as the referee gets everything sorted out. They are saved by Ryan Fulton from Martin Boyle. Prior to that, Jamie Hamilton sent off, and Boyle got a little bit of treatment. He then scored, and then he had to get his contact lens back in. There was plenty going on, but Michael Stewart.
Half-time has just come to Easter Road here. 1-0 to Hibs. Hamilton down to 10 men. Marius Ogpo off as well, but they're still in here. They're still in with a shout. 1-0 behind half-time.
So we are at half-time. We'll round up all the action for you during the interval.
On digital radio,
FM,
medium wave,
and online.
The most comprehensive coverage of Scottish football.
Go!
Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland.
So the half-times around the country in the Premiership. Aberdeen 1, Kilmarnock 0. Hibernian 1, Hamilton 0. Motherwell 0, St Johnstone 2. St Mirren 1, Livingston 1. In the Championship, Arbroath 0, Raith Rovers 0. Ayr United 0, Inverness Caledonian Thistle 1. Dundee 0, Queen of the South 2. Dunfermline 1, Alloa Athletic 1. Hearts 0, Morton 0. In the English Premier League half-time, Burnley 0, West Bromwich Albion 0. Earlier it finished at St Mary's, Southampton 1, Chelsea 1. Right, let's get to our commentary team at Pittodrie. Willie Miller and Liam McLeod been watching the first 45 minutes unfold there, and a moment of delight for the Aberdeen supporters. Liam McLeod.
Yeah, and it came on 21 minutes, and that means that their long wait for a goal ended at 574 minutes. Callum Hendry, who'd just come on for Fraser Hornby, who injured himself shooting at Colin Doyle's goal. Hendry came on, and of course Tommy Wright knows him very well from his time at St Johnstone, but he would have been very unhappy with the nature of the Kilmarnock defending on this occasion. Niall McGinn swung the free kick in. Hendry planted the header in the reverse top right corner of the net to give Aberdeen the lead, his first for the club, and the Dons' first goal since Saturday the 23rd of January. Kilmarnock without a strike in that opening 45 means they have now gone 463 minutes without attention. Now turns to them, and can they managed to arrest that? Well, Nicky Kabamba missed their best opportunity. He was onside. The Aberdeen defence thought he was off. They stopped. They were fortunate because their goalkeeper Joe Lewis, their captain, came out to make the save from Kabamba. Gary Dickard a shot straight at Joe Lewis earlier on. Lewis Ferguson saw an effort early on, saved by Colin Doyle, but it all means that at half time it is the Dons who have the lead. Willie Miller.
Yeah, Liam, deserved lead. I would say I don't think there's been too much in the game, and Kilmarnock certainly have recovered from going that goal behind. But Tommy Wright will be disappointed, the manner of it, to Kip Broadfoot bringing down Canberry on the edge of the box needlessly in my book. You know, he wasn't going anywhere. He was running towards the touchline, and he brings him down. But up steps Niall McGinn. And you know, just when you think everything's going wrong for Aberdeen, when Hornby goes off, then you've got you know, another striker that comes on, and McGinn just drives it across the face of the goal. It's a really well taken free kick. It had to be well taken, and it was met by Callum Hendry at the back post. He's went up, he's got his forehead on it, and he's just put it right back across the face of the goal into the top corner. It was well worked, well taken. Poor defending though, you've got to say as well. And since then, you know, Kilmarnock have recovered. They had that big chance. They've only had the one chance in the game. Kabamba right through the Aberdeen rearguard, sleeping, looking for offside. The flag didn't go up. He was in. He should have done better in my book. It was a weak effort, but Joe Lewis did great, identifying the danger, coming out and staying big. And that's been about it. The conditions haven't helped, but it hasn't been as windy, nearly as windy as last week. The game has been very tight. There's not been too much in it, but Aberdeen have got that lead, and normally they defend leads very well. I'm sure Derek McInnes will be hoping that that's the case in the second half.
Kyle Lafferty's out for a warm-up, and he doesn't have the trackies on anymore, so I would imagine he is coming on for the start of the second half of his Kilmarnock debut. Hornby and Dickamona subbed off. Half-time at Pittodrie, Aberdeen 1, Kilmarnock 0.
Yeah, Aberdeen, just a moment of delight for them now, I guess, from their point of view, going on to try to win the game. Kilmarnock just trying to arrest this slide. 7 defeats in the bounds going into it. They need to come from behind in the second half. You'll hear it live on Sportsound and BBC, on digital, 810 medium wave, and online at bbc.co.uk/Sports Scotland. Open all mics, of course, continuing on Sounds FM and online. We'll have that Aberdeen game. We'll also have the game at Easter Road. There's been plenty there in the first half for Michael Stewart.
Yeah, there has, Richard. You know, Hibs came into this game sitting in third spot, looking to extend their lead. And for Hamilton Accies, it's 3 games undefeated, and they started the game pretty brightly. But unfortunately for them, it all just fell apart in the 12th minute when Jamie Hamilton was red carded, I think harshly, but the referee Craig Napier decided the red card was the one that was pulling out. Down to 10 men, they then got compounded with a goal, a very good goal from Martin Boyle. The second wave of the attack after the clearance from Hamilton Accies. The ball came on the inside left channel. Martin Boyle cut in and curled one into the far corner and put his side ahead. And then for Hamilton Accies, again, another issue, another problem. And at this time, Marius Ogbo going off in 23 minutes and substitute, I think David Moyles come on for him. And Hibs looked as if they were in control. In the 33rd minute, they got a penalty. I think this was another incident that was perhaps a little bit harsh on Hamilton Accies, but Ryan Fulton stepped up for him and saved a penalty kick from Martin Boyle, put it around the post for a corner kick. And after that, to be perfectly honest, Hamilton Accies worked their way back into the game, down to 10 men, 1-0 down, but they've not panicked. They didn't lose their composure, and they've started to make their way back up the park. And at half-time here, they're only 1-0 down. They may be down to 10 men, but they've still got a fighting chance in the second half here.
What a game it has been so far. More from Mikey throughout the second half on Open All Mics. Stephen Cragen is an Open All Mics duty at Fir Park, where the away side look to be in control.
They absolutely are, Richard. Yes, and Johnson have deservedly, leading this game by 2 goals to 0. They've dominated right from the very first whistle. And saying that, the first 10 or 15 minutes was a little bit scrappy, but St Johnstone did break the deadlock just before the 20-minute mark. Sean Rooney won the ball in midfield. He drove forward. He fed Guy Melamed on the right-hand side. He chopped back onto his left foot just on the edge of the box and guided it in beyond Liam Kelly, who had absolutely no chance. It was almost 2-0 10 minutes later. David Wotherspoon flashed the ball across goal. Melamed was just inches away from getting his second of the afternoon. Sean Rooney then had a shot from 20 yards that flashed wide. Motherwell's only attempt on target in the first half came after 32 minutes when Liam Polworth had a shot from 20 yards, but was comfortably palmed away by Xander Clark. But St Johnstone then deservedly doubled their lead right on half-time. It was a mishmash. There was lots going on. Liam Craig hit the crossbar from 25 yards. Sean Rooney followed that up with a header back onto the crossbar, but it wasn't third time lucky for Motherwell because Jason Kerr slammed it home from about 15 yards. And it has to be said, Motherwell have got a lot to do at half-time. I said before the game, I feared for Motherwell and those fears have came true. St Johnstone, who have dominated and deservedly lead half-time at Fir Park. It's Motherwell 0, St Johnstone 2.
Yeah, they made a strong start, didn't they, under the new manager Graham Alexander, but a 4-1 thumping at home last week to Hamilton and 2-0 down at the break to St Johnstone this afternoon. It is all square in Paisley. Let's get the half-time story. St Mirren against Livingston from Julie Fleeting.
Yeah, the first half finishes even. It was the visitors who took the lead after 8 minutes, and you could say that was against the run of play. They got themselves a free kick on the right-hand side, right in the corner of the 18-yard box, and it was Sybil who curled an in-swinger, and as St Mirren have gone to clear it, it's hit off McCarthy and it's ended up in Annex net. The game's been scrappy for long spells, and St Mirren have been trying to use the pace of Connolly and the power of Obika to get in behind the Livy defence, and by stretching the game it's allowed Cammy McPherson to get onto a very clever Obika layoff and driving and unleashing a terrific strike past McCrory and the Livy goal to even the game up. Hasn't been a lot of other opportunities, goalmouth action, but second half will be very interesting as Livy will now have the wind at their backs. And the half-time score here at St Mirren Park is St Mirren 1, Livy 1.
So in the Premiership it is St Mirren 1, Livingston 1, Motherwell 0, St Johnstone 2, Aberdeen 1, Hamilton 0, Aberdeen 1, Kilmarnock 0. I know James has been reviewing some of the big calls. We'll get more from him once we get the second half up and running. To the Championship, the half-time story from Tynecastle. Hearts against Morton with Heather Dewar.
And as it stands, Richard, it's Hearts 0. Hearts giving it everything though in the first 45. Plenty of chances for them so far, but just unable to convert. Particularly in his first start for the club, his first chance coming around 4 minutes in, close range strike from the left of the box which careered into the arms of the Morton keeper. Popescu then with a superb chance to convert from a Boyce cross into the middle of the box. Popescu picking that one up, but then he skied it right over the crossbar. Makanev then with another lovely strike from around 22 yards out which McAdams picked up, and Popescu then coming in with a header from a corner which he cracked over. Michael Smith had a great chance with a shot from an angle right of the box, but the ball went wide for him at the far post, and then 35 minutes in, a Castaner cross was met by Boyce with a sweet little backheeled flick that looked like it might go in for a moment, but then it landed on top of the net instead. In fact, Morton not really making any impact in the around 37 minutes in when a Nesbitt cross from outside the box floated in, curled onto the crossbar and bounced off, and then just shortly after a close range strike from a Nesbitt cross into the box flew wide. So a pretty pacey game here so far at Tynecastle, but Hearts will need to find much more accuracy in this next half. We're underway already if they're to extend their lead at the top. 13 points clear of Wraith Rovers as it stands, but Morton looking more and more dangerous on the break at well, we're now, as I said, we've already started, but it's Hearts 0, Morton 0, no change there.
So goes to Tynecastle, but a Hearts player has scored at East End Park. Alan Preston.
He has, Richard. Craig Whiten on loan from Hearts to the end of the season, scored after 14 minutes, but Dunfermline already had shots from Fraser and from Moyle just wide of the target on both occasions, but they took that lead and it was a Murray low cross into the box. Craig Whiten flicked the ball with the outside of the right foot into the back of the net. Lovely finish from him. Alloa then had a shot from Troughton just wide. McDonald then Dunfermline just wide as well. Just when you thought Dunfermline were going to go on 1-0 up, it was Kevin Colley. Good play by Campbell, the striker, rolled the ball back to Colley. His shot took a wicked deflection, ball going one way, keeper going the other into the back of the net, and then Taggart for Alloa almost put them ahead. Brilliant free kick, wonderfully saved by Fon Williams, diving to his left hand side. Gives us a half-time score. Dunfermline 1, Alloa 1.
Right, I know we're going to split frequency shortly for the Open Mike's commentary, but quickly let's get to Kenny Crawford at Gayfield. Half-time Arbroath, Wraith Rovers.
Yeah, Arbroath 0, Wraith Rovers 0. Another example of how valuable home advantage is to Arbroath. They've dominated in difficult conditions and played some nice football in the process. Two best chances for the Red Lichties. Chris Doolan's close range effort blocked by Dylan Tate, and Ben Williamson's attempt to round goalkeeper Jamie McDonald proved futile. 0-0 half-time.
OK, thanks to Kenny. Yeah, we'll get you the half-time stories from both Dens Park and Somerset during our Open All Mics coverage. Your choice of listening is coming up.
On digital radio,
FM,
medium wave,
and online.
Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland.
So the option is second half commentary from Pittodrie, Aberdeen against Kilmarnock. You get that with Liam and Willie on digital, 810 medium wave and online. Also online at bbc.co.uk/Sports Scotland will be Open All Mics. Get us on BBC Sounds or on 92 to 95 FM.
The most comprehensive coverage of Scottish football.
This is Sports Sound from BBC Radio Scotland.
Right, I can see some changes are being made. We'll get to our open all micers to get news of them in a moment or two. Let's, though, round up the first half action. First of all, from Dens Park. Dundee, Queen of the South with Derek.
Dundee 0, Queen of the South 2. The visitors off to a flying start 2 minutes in. Jones racing away from a static Dundee defence, I've got to say. He was brought down by Kerr and the Queen's winger, I'm sorry to say. Hold on a little second. Yep, we're just about to kick off, Richard. Oblai stepped up to take the penalty kick, making no mistake. Dundee had more possession in the game. They were prompted by the classy Charlie Adam, but were coming up short in front of goal. But it was Queens who doubled their lead on 37 minutes on loan. Breen getting his head on a wicked cross from East to divert into the back of the net from close range. So here at Dens Park at the moment, as we start the second half, Richard, Dundee 0, Queen of the South 2.
And Jake Young at Somerset Park, half-time there.
Yeah, we're into the second half. It's just a 1-0 to Inverness, Calais Thistle. And I'll tell you how strong the wind is. Calais Thistle would kick off there. They just rolled the ball back to Scott Allardyce, and he shot from the halfway line. In fact, the ball was in his own half. He was wide of the post, but it certainly was going to trouble the goalkeeper had he been in target. That's what we're up against. United had that at their back in the first half. Despite that, they lost that goal after 31 minutes to Danny Mackay, his third of the season, and now they have the battle into the wind and trying to get the vital points and rescue something out of this game. They're 1-0 behind, in Inverness, Calais playing with a hurricane at their back now.
Yeah, I mean, they could feasibly jump up quite a few places, Calais Thistle, on the back of that. If they can get the win, depends obviously on results elsewhere as well. But they are in front at Somerset, United 0. Calais Thistle 1. Right, see the Hamilton and the Birmingham players just making their way back out. That game's a little bit behind the others. We'll get to Mikey shortly. There was, and we heard from Liam and Willie talking about the potential of Kyle Lafferty coming on for the second half at Pittodrie. Billy Dodds.
Yeah, he's on, Richard, but so is Aaron McGowan, and Kilmarnock have changed shape, so they're keeping Kabambo on the pitch. It's Kyle Lafferty and Kabambo up front. They've gone a 5 in midfield with Aaron McGowan on the right, and Ross Millen has now tucked himself in to make it a back 3 for Kilmarnock. So they're having a go, getting 2 strikers up the pitch, and they've forced a couple of corners early in this second half.
Well, they'll be desperate, of course, to end their barren run, just like Aberdeen did in the first half. Talking of a team desperate to get back into events, Motherwell, of course, falling into that category. Have they made changes, Stephen?
Richard, really surprisingly, no. But if you look at the bench, they've got Nathan McGinley, Jake Hastie, David Devine, Ross McKeever, Dean Cornelius and Jordan Roberts. And just on Jordan Roberts, he must be really poor in training. Because he's the only winger they have. Well, they've got Jake Hastie, who got a couple of games under Graham Alexander, and he obviously didn't fancy him because he hasn't played him since. But he brought Jordan Roberts in January to play as a winger, and he's going with Devante Cole, Tony Watt and Chris Long, who all want to play as centre forwards. Motherwell lacking width, and there's a penalty to St Johnstone. Chris Kane drove through and Liam Polworth has brought him down. So the day for Graham Alexander and for Motherwell could just about to get worse.
Right, James will keep an eye on that. Motherwell do love conceding a penalty. That is 13th penalty they've conceded this season, which is staggering. And next up, the stat, all 12 so far have been scored.
Yeah.
Penalty?
It's not, yeah,
Johnson missed a lot of penalties.
Chris Kane does well to get in. Polworth.
Well,
yeah, he tries to. I don't know what he's trying to do.
Right.
I really don't.
St Johnstone have missed one.
3-0 now. Right. Guy Melamed went up into where the away supporters would normally be and struck it low and hard past the right hand of Liam Kelly. And I would think already that is game, set and match.
Yeah, Stevie May scored 4 penalties this season. Craig Conway got 1. Callum Henry got 1. And now Guy Melamed has got 1. Yeah, they've been better this season, Alan. That's now 7 out of 8 they've scored.
Yeah, and they're going into a cup final in good form.
Yeah. Well, Stevie May, the only one who missed out, of course, had that one saved by Max Stryek a couple of weeks back.
We've got a goal here for
Let's hear about the
Morton
goal.
at Tynecastle.
Wow.
McGuffey, Richard, but lovely cross came to him just outside the box from the right, and he pelted it in from around 20 yards. Beautiful. I did say they were looking good on the break, and they just got it, because Michael Smith, just a couple of moments before that, came in with the first real chance for Hearts in this second half. Edge of the box, drilled that one left and wide of the post. So Morton making the most of their advantage and putting one past Hearts here and going 1-0 up. So it's Hearts 0, Morton 1.
Well, that will certainly open a few eyes, I would think, around the country as Morton go in front at Tynecastle.
If they do get up, Richard, then it's still a big if. They have got a massive rebuild on their hands there. Nowhere near good enough.
Yeah, I mean, this is a Morton team that haven't won in their last 7 matches. Yeah, 7 matches since Morton last won.
What a chance for Kilmarnock. I'll tell you what, he's so greedy, Kabamba Fadi. If you have a look at this, when it's knocked up, he wins the header, he knocks it on for himself, but he's got Pinnock inside. If he just releases him, he probably scores, and he's greedy. He knocks it wide at the angle and just drags a shot.
I think that goes out for a throw-in as well,
yeah, it was a horrendous shot, to be honest.
Pinnock's in acres of space. He could play it early. He takes a touch, he takes another touch, and then
game intelligence is
terrible.
See, he's got to get the head up there. They don't get that many opportunities, but that one is glaring.
What a chance! Oh, what a chance for Dundee. So he's missed. I kid you not, open goal. He's 6 yards out. Yeah, he's stretching a little. He just misses it completely, and then just coming in at the back, it was Marshall, and he thrashed the ball over. A little bit more composure, and that goes into the back of the net. I've regained my composure. Just realised I've got a sweetie with the paper on it. Richard, nightmare.
Right, we need to know what kind of sweetie.
We need to know how long it took you to realise that the paper was still on it.
Faddy, it was when I was doing the report. It was a quality street. You take it off. I didn't realise there was another little bit of wrapping underneath it, a silver bit. I've actually been chowing it.
The old fillings.
There's a little chance. A goal, is it? Yes, it's a goal. Cummins for Dundee. Lovely. I was a little bit disappointed with him in the first half. He's put it through, ball just bounces up. I tell you what, it's lovely weight of it. It's a little lob over the keeper, and I thought the big Buchanan's, he's racing back, he gets his foot on it, but it just squirms over the line into the back of the net. So Dundee back in this game. Dundee 1, Queen of South 2.
And as you can hear the announcement in the background, first goal for his new club, Jason Cummings. Dundee 1, Queen of the South 2. Did you have something? Are you okay, Derek?
Yes. Yeah.
I've got to say, I think was it Dodgy, you mentioned that all around the country, anyone who's got a filling is going,
yes. It's not. Well, I've got plenty of fillings. I don't even think I've got my own teeth.
That's how you never knew you were tasting paper.
Right, okay. I mean, Derek, you take us down some alleyways on a Saturday afternoon, but you haven't taken us down that one before.
Would anybody else admit to doing that?
No, I mean, it's just. The thing is, with Derek, as soon as he gets out of Carol's sight, then you've got no idea what's going to happen. Anything could happen to Fergie on a Saturday afternoon.
Way,
Right, anyway, Dundee back in it potentially. Jason Cummings getting that goal. Dundee 1, Queen of the South 2. Just going back to James, I know you were staring intently at a few of the screens in the first half, maybe particularly that Aberdeen and Hamilton game. Further thoughts on the Hamilton sending off?
I'm trying to see where the contact is. Jamie Hamilton gets there first. It is high and he does win the ball, but I still can't see if the follow through actually catches Martin Boyle. And Martin Boyle's rolling about holding his foot, so you've got to assume he did, and if he does catch him, then you can see why the referee sent him off, because he's out of control. It is a high tackle, and the penalty, I still can't see why it's given.
No.
I have no idea why it's given. Doidge goes down. I don't know if it's Moyle coming in behind him that's maybe caught him, but I still can't see what happened. So no, Richard, I'm none the wiser.
Right,
Richard, the fascinating thing in all that is that those two incidents are, I saw them in real time, and my gut instinct on both of them was it's no sending off, and it wasn't a penalty.
Yeah.
So, Faddy's obviously
Yes, a second goal for Inverness County Thistle. Shane Sutherland has scored it. There was a shot driven in. I think it was by Mackay. Came up with the defender, and Sutherland pounced to drive it into the net with the wind at their back this time. And now Ayr United, who are being in real trouble at the relegation, the wrong end, dropping down this league today, a real mountain to climb. 2-0 down against a ferocious Gale, and that's the second for Inverness County Thistle, and it's Shane Sutherland
who gets his 5th goal of the season, and Cali Thistle desperately looking to get back on the winning trail after that run without success. Haven't won in the last 6 matches going into this one, so they have a 2-0 advantage early in the second half.
So I was just saying that the referee, Faddy is looking at them and he's desperately trying to find, what it is that's made the referee make those decisions, and still can't really see it.
No.
So for the referee to definitively make
quick
those,
as well, Michael.
exactly,
It was rapid.
make those big decisions, sending Hamilton off and awarding the penalty kick. To me, there's an element of he's guessed and he's got them wrong. Is my gut. I've not seen replays. Obviously, I'm listening to what Faddy's saying there in the studio as well. And they're big moments for Hamilton Aki.
Huge.
In the grand scheme of things, they've actually acquitted themselves not bad. And they're still in this. As I keep saying, they're still in this as they're only one down, and they've had a few chances.
It is 1-0 for Aberdeen. Martin Boyle scoring for a fourth successive match, but he also had a penalty saved by Ryan Fulton, and he was the player who went down in the challenge from Jamie Hamilton, which saw the Aggies player red carded. St Johnstone are cruising to victory. Stephen Craigan knew exactly what was going to happen this afternoon. He told us so beforehand.
Absolutely, Richard. I just, when I looked at the team lines and I looked at the experienced players and the battlers that they're missing in midfield, likes of Mark O'Hara and Alan Campbell, they've been powder puff. They've been too passive. They hadn't laid a glove on St Johnstone. And Callum Davidson said this week that he wanted to see a performance from his players because there's final places up for grabs. I expected a high intensity performance from St Johnstone, and that's exactly what they've delivered. Guy Melamed now must be in the starting team next weekend. He's been excellent. He scored 2 goals, albeit one of them being a penalty kick. Liam Craig has come into the side and been very good, but Motherwell, they've got this thing where they take goal kicks, right? Liam Kelly has the ball, the 2 centre halves stand in the 6-yard box beside him. The other midfield players and fullbacks go so deep around the box, they lump it forward. St Johnstone win the first header against the 3 centre forwards, and Motherwell on the back foot. So I don't know what they're trying to do, but it's not working.
Great save, Joe Lewis. It's brilliant play. Malumbu, central midfield, spots a first-time pass out to Pinnock. He's out on the left-hand side. He cuts in. I'll tell you what, catches a brilliant shot that Lewis does really well to get. I think it was both hands behind and keep it out.
Yeah, Killie getting their chances, and James, the opportunity for Kabamba. If you're going to go for your, show that kind of greed, I suppose, in the box, what you at least have to do is to get away a shot that troubles the keeper and looks as if you've come close to actually scoring. It must be so frustrating for Tommy Wright.
Yeah, and I think that the position he's in, it's not unusual for him to take a shot, but it's just how he struck it. It's so messy and scrappy that he almost. He drags it so bad that it starts bouncing as soon as it leaves his foot. Pinnock's in a brilliant position. He should square it. But you're right, if you're going to shoot from there, at least trouble the goalkeeper.
Right, another big moment somewhere.
It was Easter Road. It was a ball into the box. The 2 strikers for Hamilton linking up. Moyle round the back, nods it down, and Bruce Anderson onto it, strikes it really well. Unfortunately for him, it was just too close to the goalkeeper. Had it been even a couple of feet to the side of Marciano, I think that could have been ending up in the back of the net. But good, just a ball into the box, nod down from Moyle, and Bruce Anderson with a really nice strike, just too close to the goalkeeper.
Hibernian still with a narrow advantage. It's still all tied up in Paisley. Julie Fleeting.
Yep, still all even. Not an awful lot of action in terms of shots and goal or opportunities for either side. St Mirren came out in the second half and they went from a back 3 to a back 4. And it was Tate who was playing as a right wing back, moved back to left full back, and then shortly after, I think 55 minutes, Livingston made a change. They brought on Taylor Sinclair and took off Forrest, and they went back to back 3. So both sides have changed formation and they hope to try and get the win.
St Mirren 1, Livingston 1. Conor McCarthy's early own goal cancelled out by Cammy McPherson's first of the season. St Johnstone 3-0 up at Motherwell. Guy Melamed doubling his tally for the campaign. 4 now. And Jason Kerr, I said a first league goal of the season. I wondered if he'd scored in the league before. He has. He scored 1 in the Premiership last season. He scored 3 the previous season. So it's a 5th league goal, a 3rd of the season all told. And St Johnstone are cruising 3-0 at Fir Park. That astonishing game at Easter Road still just a 1-0 advantage for Hibernian, as we just heard from Michael and Billy Dodds. Finally saw Aberdeen score after 573 minutes without a goal. But the focus is on Killie, and they are causing problems for the home defence.
Yeah, just because they've matched up. They've just said, I think Tommy Wright said to them at half-time, look, we're going man for man, and we're going to commit more people forward. So they've got the 2 strikers up front. You saw Pinnock breaking.
Alan Preston.
For Dunfermline, and it's Whiten again. Brilliant ball and really good cross from Fraser Murray on the left-hand side. Whiten runs across the front post. Flick header beyond the keeper. Dunfermline 2, Alloa 1.
Alan, what is it about Craig Whiten?
He'll always be a hero, Richard. He scored in that semi-final against Hibs at Hampden, so regardless what you say, he'll be a hero.
He was wanted by Arbroath, Richard. Dick Campbell really wanted to get him on board.
Hamilton as well, Heather. He spoke to Brian Rice.
But just, he had that spell at Arbroath. He got a few goals on loan last season, and then was in the team at the start of the season during the Betfred Cup run. Got a few goals then as well, Alan. But
goal at Gayfield.
I'll come back to you at some point, Alan.
It's a goal for Arbroath, Richard, and it's Chris Doolan. It was a brilliant ball in, I think, by Scott Stewart on the right-hand side, and he's just kind of chipped it over the diving Jamie McDonald from about 8 yards out, and it's Arbroath 1, Wraith Rovers 0.
You know, what an afternoon it's been. Aberdeen end that long drought, and Chris Doolan scores a goal. The mighty Chris Doolan, third of the season. Arbroath 1, Wraith Rovers 0. And I mean, they've just been starting to get the points together, getting that nice unbeaten run together. And Kenny, you've been talking about some nice football that they've been playing. Very strong now, building up that home record again. A win this afternoon would be so big for them, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it definitely would. They've not lost a game, Richard, since the 29th of December. They've had 2 wins and 4 draws since that defeat to Hearts, I think it was, just before the turn of the year. And they just look so good. This is the half, actually. The wind isn't in Arbroath's favour yet. They've still been the more impressive team.
Sorry, Kenny.
It's all right. And just before Doolan got that goal there, Bobby Lynn had a another chance. I think Bobby Lynn's only scored once this season. He's been in and out the team, but he's looking so on fire today.
Right, let's hear about that chance.
It's just dragged wide. It's a hard opportunity for him to, but he's maybe got to hit target and see if the goalkeeper saves it. But he's dragged it wide. Lewis Ferguson, good run from him. Little reverse pass to him. He's at the angle, left foot strike. Got plenty of power behind it. Just put it past the left-hand post.
Actually, James, it was a good effort, wasn't it?
Good effort. He's unlucky. He does everything right. It's good movement. Good timing of the shot as well. He's unlucky to see it go by the post.
Should have been I think a penalty kick for Dundee. Richard, it was Cummins just inside the box. He's trying to flick it just past the defender. It was big Oberlai this time, and certainly come off his arm. The referee, I thought, has got a good view. Certainly the linesman can see he's only 15-20 yards away. Not given. It's one of those, his arm is outstretched. It does hit his arm. For me, that's a penalty kick, and it's not been given.
Aberdeen have also already lost a striker to injury. Fraser Hornby had to go off in the first half, Billy Dodds.
Yeah, and I mean, the Aberdeen players are asking for a red. There's been a couple of that in the game where he's given yellows for late challenges and aerial battles, and they've just been caught. But this one, Aaron McGowan, who was one of the ones that got smacked, he's got a bit of toilet roll up his nose, blocking it.
We normally call it cotton wool. It's a Saturday afternoon family listening.
Yeah, I think it is.
I know, is that dodgy?
I think it is a tissue. I don't think it's cotton wool. Is it up there, Richard? I saw
Derek Ferguson, would you see that?
But Paddy, I was going to say, do you think it's a red there? I don't know if they played it back in again.
Oh, hold on, let's hear about the goal.
Is he going to give it? No. The referee is not going to give it. It's a brilliant ball. It's Marshall. He's coming bombing in at the back post area. Gets a decent connection on it. The keeper scrambles it off the line. Then there's a little bit of a stramash. The ball ends up over the line, but referee is not giving it. He's give a foul. I'm not so sure that was a foul. Dundee have just been pressing all the time. The referee is Barry Cook. I'm not so sure. I mean, that was just 2 minutes earlier. I mean, Dundee had been denied a penalty kick, and I thought that could have been given.
So it was Jordan Marshall with the effort, and you thought it was in?
Yeah, it was scrambled. It was the keeper, Ferguson, he just scrambles it away, but then there's defenders in front of him. They're panicking. They're kicking. I think they kicked it off one another. I think Breen might have kicked it off a Buchanan, and the ball just goes over the line, but somehow the referee sees a foul, an infringement. I'm not too sure.
Right, still Dundee 1, Queen of the South 2, Dunfermline 2, Alloa Athletic 1, Hearts 0, Morton 1, United 0, Cali Thistle 2, and Arbroath 1, Wraith Rovers 0. In the Premiership, Cimarron 1, Livingston 1. It's Motherwell 0, St Johnstone 3. Martin Boyle's got the goal. Hibernian lead 1-0 against Hamilton. Plenty of action in that one. And Callum Henry's got the goal to end Aberdeen's run. It ended after 573 minutes without a goal. Still Aberdeen 1, Kilmarnock 0. There have been chances for Kilmarnock in the second half. I did notice online the Aberdeen podcast, here we go.
Oh, how on earth does that? Oh, my word. Oh, there's a chance here at Hibs. Darren McGregor's round the back. He heads it. Ryan Fulton, I don't know how he manages to keep it out, but he's given a by kick. I don't really understand how that is possible, because Darren McGregor headed it on goal, looked as if it was going in. Ryan Fulton saved it, and it went behind. It went over the byline.
Right, it's one for James just to keep an eye on. There's been a few of them this afternoon. And of course, highlights from all the Premiership matches on Sports Team tonight, 7:30 on the BBC Scotland
No idea.
channel. I mean, he's headed
Fulton has saved it.
Aye, he's headed it straight at the keeper, essentially. Or it's come off his knee, is it?
He must have thought it hit the post, the ref.
Yeah.
Because it definitely hasn't hit anyone else. Fulton saved it and turned it round. But Darren McGregor kind of half protest and then just runs back. He doesn't even say anything.
I mean, as it's happening, you think to yourself, oh, it's going to score, it's going to go, it's going to be a goal. And then, I mean, it's not even near, I mean, it's probably, what, about a yard from the post?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then it goes, but Craig Napier's come out with some strange decisions this afternoon, and that was just another one.
Still 1-0 for Hibernian. Aberdeen 1-0 on Kilmarnock. I was saying the Aberdeen podcast, here we go. They'd pointed out that twice previously when Aberdeen have had these long runs without a goal, they have ended them with 2-0 wins against Killie back in 1905, 1973. They may be on course for that, but of course that would mean scoring again. It would also mean keeping Kilmarnock out. Billy, you talked about the fact that Killie have matched up, they've changed shape, they've got the two strikers up there. What kind of impact has Kyle Lafferty made?
He's made an impact. He's getting himself, there was a diagonal came, he got himself against McLennan of all people and just bought a free kick earlier on. He's shown a presence, he's knocked things down, he's flicked things on, so he really has made an impression in the game so far, Richard. It's given Kilmarnock an out ball where they don't have to play through the lines, especially on a day like this and a pitch like this. They can just go direct, and he is certainly showing his game intelligence.
It is still 1-0 that Pittodrie. It's 1-0 at Easter Road. The home side's in at front in those two. Very much the away side in charge of the afternoon at Fir Park. Stephen Craigan.
Yeah, they are, Richard. Graham Alexander made a triple substitution a few minutes ago. He brought on Jake Hastie, Nathan McGinley and Jordan Roberts, just in trying to inject some firepower in the final third, some sort of creativity. They've changed to a 4-4-2, but listen, this game's long gone. St Johnstone, all they have to do now is just manage the game. They're not overcommitting people forward. They're allowing Motherwell to have the ball in their own half. They're posing their own problems. They're rolling it along the edge of the box. St Johnstone, they're nicking it. And Motherwell just can't get any rhythm at all. But as it stands, it's 3-0 to the visitors.
Let's hear about the chance at Tynecastle.
Yeah, lovely long ball came in from the left-hand side of the pitch, just outside the box. Jamie Walker met it on the volley, Richard. Cracking effort there, but just flew into the hands of McAdams. And, yeah, really nice save from him. But that's probably the best opportunity Hearts have had in this second half. I mean, just after Morton scored through McGuffey, Gary Mackay-Stephen took a Smith in the box, but totally skied it over the crossbar. Nandouye with the ball into the box originally after coming off the bench. He passed it to Naismith. Naismith didn't really know what to do with it, fuddled around a little bit, passed it to Mackay-Stephen, who then flunked it over the crossbar. So well, I mean, not much of a chance with that. We've got a goal. Just saying that, and that is Walker there. Again, took it on the volley. Range and has just levelled for Hearts. So it's Hearts 1, Morton 1, and that ball coming in from the left. He met it really nicely just in the middle of the box. I said close range, and he's headed it in.
Jamie Walker with his 6th goal of the season. It cancels out the Craig McGuffey opener for Morton. So the league leaders 13 points clear at the start of play.
Just about to get a yellow card.
Alan?
Well, I think it's Peter Grant. I can't see, but the referee's come over to the side and brandished a yellow card to someone. I think it is Peter Grant he was giving it to, because Peter was having a right go. The referee has missed a couple of challenges here, but Peter's clearly not happy, and he's walked over and given the Alloa manager the yellow card. Alloa have been really good in the second half, going behind against the run of play. It's got to be said, Richard. But Dunfermline, this could be a massive 3 points for them. Yeah,
I've heard that a lot this season in terms of Alloa, the football they play, how enjoyable they are to watch.
Honestly, I like watching them. They play football in the right manner, they get the ball down.
Right, but as things stand, of course, starting the day 2 adrift at the bottom, and with the sides immediately above them, Cali Thistle and Arbroath still in front, or both in front. Alloa could be even further adrift at the end of play. Chick?
Yeah, it was a fantastic and nearly a third for Inverness Cali Thistle. It's a free kick on the left hand side. Robbie Dees is forward. He's got a diving header. I think it's going into the net, but Sinisalo makes a fantastic save to his left hand side to keep it out, and I suppose keep Ayr United in the game, but they're really tall, Richard. 2-0 down going into this. I mean, the rain is sheeting down here. It's absolutely blowing a hoolie, and it's tough for them. And to be fair, Inverness Caley Thistle managed the weather conditions better in the first half than Ayr United are doing now. I just can't see them getting themselves back into this game. 2-0 behind, 2-0 to Caley Thistle.
Noticed just a few moments ago, actually, the Sheffield Wednesday midfielder Liam Shaw looks to be heading towards Celtic and that pre-contract to join them in the summer. He's been sent off, and Sheffield Wednesday now trailing 1-0 at home to Birmingham in the English Championship. The Jamie Walker goal came in the 71st minute, so still time for the league leaders to press on and get what would be a 13th league win out of 17 games.
I think that's his
season.
50th goal for the Jambos, Richard.
He's made quite a contribution, hasn't he, over his 2 spells with the club. They're back on level terms. Right, what about the Premiership matches as we move into
Aberdeen
the closing stage? I noticed one of those famous Derek McInnes notes being handed over there.
Yeah, I didn't notice that. I just noticed the substitution because Matty Kennedy come on and he just replaced Niall McGinn. He's run his race, but he did go centrally, so he must have handed a note over, which I missed, Richard.
Not like you, Doddsy, to miss something at Pittodrie.
No. Well, I don't know if Willie Miller would agree with that, but anyway.
No, neither do I. It was clearly ironic. Anyway, 1-0 it is for Aberdeen.
You're good at that,
against Kilmarnock. Well, at least we didn't have to get to that scenario where they were in the danger of beating that 619 minutes without a goal in the Dundee United game that was set all the way back, 2 decades ago when you scored the winner. So we didn't need to go through that in minute detail, Doherty, which was a plus.
Thank you.
1-0 for Aberdeen, 1-0 for Hibernian, 3-0 for St Johnstone, and 1-1 in Paisley St Mirren against Livingston. Highlights from all the matches, sports scene tonight at 7:30 on the BBC Scotland channel. And of course, 2 other games to take place tomorrow at 3 o'clock afternoon. It's Rangers against Dundee United. Keep you across that one, and then commentary later. 7:30 kick-off.
Why are we having that at that time?
Well, obviously for television, but
yeah, I get that. But when was the
exactly?
last time it was a British game at 7:30 on a Sunday night?
I mean, we did when
Sky used to do 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock, but no 7:30.
6:15, 6:30. Yeah.
No, I get that.
Neil Lennon saying they get home about 4 in the morning.
Yeah, I mean,
You've done that a few times,
I do remember those Sunday nights, and actually some big nights and some big crowds at some of those games. I think maybe the novelty initially. I'm assuming I kind of imagine it was to do with the English Premiership matches as well. Just fit in off the back of Arsenal against Man City, a 4:30 kick-off tomorrow. And maybe that's the case. Anyway,
Country File's on as well.
So, I beg your pardon?
Country File.
Country File. Do like a bit of Country File.
Yes, absolutely.
It's not as if supporters are affected. Is it a problem really to be on at 7:30 or Sunday night?
Well, it's probably scheduling, isn't it? In terms of just getting
I don't see the issue of it. Supporters, I would see the.
All right, ask Packy that. If Packy's on his way up, do you ask him if he's all right with that?
I don't really care.
No, I think Packy's doing it for the studio.
Is he?
It's only Summits at the coalface.
The locals. Well, that's quite right in the current circumstances. So we have to try to maintain, obviously, the restrictions, and to ensure that our people aren't travelling too far and too often around the country. So you're local, Doddsy. You'll be able to look after things up there. Packy will be able to join in.
I still wish it was an afternoon kick-off.
Of course, this was just been pointed out by the editor. This was going to be Scottish Cup weekend, so these games have actually been rescheduled. So it was a late addition to the fixture calendar.
Well, they're thinking that's going to not get played, Scottish Cup. I know that they're saying they're going to try, but they'll play it. I was thinking about this. They'll play it next season like they did finished off this one.
The trouble with that, Mike, is it going to affect the European places in terms of that.
That's a good point.
Yeah, we'll move down. The team in the league will get it, but there was a better place for winning the cup. You came in at a later stage of the tournament.
Aye, that's a good point. I just think that the SFA are probably looking and thinking, well, there's a chance for Hibs, and it's 2-0. Martin Boyle down the right hand side, he looks to cut it back. I think it just deflects underneath one of the Hamilton defenders and it flicks up into the air, and Josh Doig comes round at the back post and heads it into an empty net to make it 2-0 to Hibs.
Well, he's a young man who's really enjoyed his breakthrough season, Josh Doig, and he's just got his first goal for the club. He's been in and out in the last few months. He was never present for a long time. Been in and out a bit of late, but he's got the goal there. And well, that will ease any nerves there may still have been for Jack Ross and for Hibernian, and they look fair set to maintain their advantage over Aberdeen in third place.
Oh, what a chance that was for United. Mark McKenzie, who's come on as a sub to place Michael Miller, he spun, what, 8 yards out, just spun, and it should have hit the net, back of the net, but he put it beyond the post. That was a chance for Ayr to get back into the game, but it's still 2-0 to Cali. So we're making a change. Michael Hewitt's coming on to Cammy Smith. I think
what a chance there for Michael Smith. Drilled it right past the keeper, left of the post there, but yeah, from around 25 yards out, Richard, lovely shot.
That Josh Doig goal in the 70th minute, James, he was, as Michael felt, he was helped by a little deflection on the cross there.
Yeah, Martin Boyle's done well to get to the byline. He goes for the cutback. I think it's a Dauphin. It comes off his leg and deflects to the back post, and it's a nice finish from Josh Doig, but he is going for the cutback, so there is a huge slice of luck. But you know, it comes from Hamilton had good possession and they tried to force it up the pitch, and they had it short. They've got 2 men up. Obviously they're trying to get back in the game, and Hibs just make them pay. It's a good, good play from Martin Boyle initially, but they do get a little bit of luck.
Kelly made
a decent finish. On you go,
Billy.
Kelly made a couple of subs, Rich. Whitehall and Kelty on, and Houstrup and Kabamba have gone off. It was a good wee opportunity for Aberdeen there. The ball played in from the right, and it was just Flo Camberry just couldn't get on the end of it. It must have only been inches away, but good ball in and a good chance. If he maybe gambled earlier, a certain goal there.
Still, Aberdeen 1, Kilmarnock 0. Callum Henry, first for Aberdeen, his third of the season, all told. Hibernian 2, Hamilton 0 now. Boyle and then Doig. Boyle had a penalty saved by Fulton. Jamie Hamilton of the Accies sent off in the early part of the game. Guy Melamed's got a double. Jason Kerr also on target. St Johnstone are cruising. It's going to be another heavy home defeat for Motherwell. It's 3-0 there as we move into the closing stages of that one. And St Mirren 1, Livingston 1 still. McCarthy's own goal cancelled out by a fine strike from Cammy McPherson. It is still 1 apiece between those two in the Kaya sides, of course. Currently in 5th and 6th place.
Alloa have been brilliant, Richard, and there's a chance there as we go. They're still going forward. And it's actually Troughton. It's a knockdown for Campbell. Troughton's onto it, making a deep run through midfield, and he gets an effort well saved by Fon Williams. Alloa are pushing forward, but Dunfermline could hit them on the break. Still 2-1 to the Pars.
In the Championship, Arbroath 1, Wraith Rovers 0. Chris Doolan on the hour mark. Ayr United 0. Cally Thistle 2. Daniel Mackay in the first half. Shane Sutherland in the second. Dundee 1, Queen of the South 2. Queens 2-0 up at the break. Obalai's penalty, and then Rhys Breen. Jason Cummings getting his first for the goal in 51 minutes, but they've been unable to get back on level terms. A Craig Whiten double has Dunfermline 2-1 up against Alloa Athletic. 7 for Whiten with his parent club Hearts. 2 there this afternoon for Dunfermline, and Kevin Colley had pulled Alloa level with a deflected strike just before half-time. And in that game at Tynecastle, Jamie Walker has tied things up, 6th of the season for him. Craig McGuffey had put Morton in front. It's Hearts 1, Morton 1. And in the English Premier League, just that one game going on this afternoon in the 3 o'clock kickoff. It is at Turf Moor with about 15 minutes to go. Burnley 0, West Bromwich Albion 0, Southampton and Chelsea drew 1-1 a little bit earlier. So very much the closing stages. Well, at 3 of the Premiership matches.
It's magnificent. It's absolutely top draw. Gibson, Queen of the South. He's ran from his own half. He travels about 40-50 yards, cuts onto his left foot. I tell you what, it's right in the top right hand corner. That's the best goal I've seen probably this season. It's absolutely tremendous. What a goal.
Well, I just kind of thought it was going to be Charlie Adam, the way you were talking about him earlier on, but there's Willie Gibson.
Brilliant.
Still got it, and he's been a really
brilliant, Richard.
Yeah, he has these moments, doesn't he, over the course of his career. 2nd of the season, and it sounds like an absolute classic.
Oh, it was superb. He picks it up just inside his own half. He drives forward, he just cuts in past a player. He goes past him as if he's not there.
Hat-trick. Really good ball in for the right hand side. White and header.
Oh,
but 7 yards out. into the goalie's arms. Real chance for his hat-trick.
Right, now it's all happening. Check.
Yeah, Matt Ridgers is a fantastic drive by Tom Walsh. I've got a great line there, Richard. I thought that's going right in the corner, but Ridgers gets across, blocks it. It's up. What a weird game this is. It's been all Ayr United with a series of corners. Now Cali Thistle on the break. Remember, Cali Thistle leading by 2-0. That should have been one back for Ayr United. But in fact, here it's gone the other end now. Cali Thistle have got a chance. Held up, Richard. It's still 2-0 to Inverness.
Is Robbo at the game, or is he still signing tickets and letters?
There's been a substitution here, Richard, and Scott Allen's come on. Obviously, that big interview that he did, talking about the troubles that he's had in this season, and he's made his return against St Johnstone in the semi-final, but this is his first appearance in the league now. He's come on for Christian Doidge. He's just playing in behind Martin Boyle and Kevin Nisbet as Hibs break, and Nisbet's in behind, but he doesn't even attempt to challenge the goalkeeper. Hibs have a free kick though. He's pulled back. Anyway, Scott Allen's on the park, and fingers crossed he can start to pull some strings again and find some form.
Yeah, just great to see him back. Of course, I think certainly all of us in and around the game would heard the stories about Scott, and then eventually he's come out and has told the story. It's hypertrophic cardiomyopathy that he's suffering from, and to be back out in the park playing football must be such an incredible feeling for that young man. I know we've got him lined up to come on one of the programmes shortly. So now great to see him back out there, and all the very best to Scott. His team are burning 2-0 up against Hamilton and looking well set for the 3 points this afternoon. It would leave Hamilton just a point ahead of Ross County, having played a game more. As things stand, and with the scoreline at Pittodrie, they would remain on 24 points, both Accies and Kilmarnock, and of course Motherwell just above them, losing heavily again for a second successive home match. As I was waiting for someone, whoever gasped.
It was a brilliant chance for Raith Rovers there. The ball was put across, I think, by Dylan Tate, and Manny Duku has just come on as a substitute. 10 goals this season. He was just about to pull the trigger, but I think it was Jason Thompson who just took it off his toe just as the striker was about to blast the ball, hopefully for him into the net, but it wasn't. It's still Arbroath 1, Raith Rovers 0, but Raith looking more threatening.
The one Premiership match that's tied up is in Paisley. Any sign of the deadlock being broken in the closing stages, Julie?
Well, for a long time there was very little, but the last 10 minutes St Mirren have had a couple of opportunities. They certainly look they're hungrier to get the winner, although just as I was speaking there, Devlin put a cross into the box which was quite dangerous. It's now been turned out for a corner for Livingston, but there was a couple of opportunities. Durmus had a shot blocked out for a corner, and the second chance fell to McAllister, and McCrory managed to parry the first attempt and gather the second. So at this moment in time, still 1-1.
We've got another goal for Dundee. Ooh. And I've been saying it, Richard's been getting in. It's Marshall, left back. Again, he comes bombing in. It's lovely. It's McMillan just flights it up to the back post, and he comes thundering in just with the head bang into the back of the net. So 3-2.
John Marshall gets his first goal of the season against his former side. And there may yet be an opportunity for the home side in the closing stages of that one. What a game. Dundee 2, Queen of the South 3.
McCrory has just smashed the crossbar with a shot. He should have maybe kept it down, but it was a kind of goalmouth scramble. It was Canberry with a couple of Kilmarnock players round him, only about 6 yards out. It rolled to McCrory, maybe about 8 yards, and he just smashed it, and it come off the face of the crossbar. Should have been 2-0 Aberdeen.
Still seeing opportunities at the other end for Kilmarnock, or Aberdeen beginning to get a grip in this game now?
They've defended well, but they've been really those two really good chances for Kilmarnock. They have looked better though, Richard. They have that structure. The 3-5-2 formation has suited them. They look more of a goal threat, but they just can't fashion an opportunity. Either they're squandering it themselves, or Aberdeen have defended it well.
Well, Kilmarnock on the verge of hitting 5 games without a goal. Aberdeen, of course, ended their goal drought earlier, courtesy of that thumping header from Callum Henry from an excellent pinpoint free kick cross from Niall McGinn. But it is Kilmarnock who the focus turns to, I guess, heading for an 8th successive defeat. It'll be a 5th game on the bounce without scoring. They went 4 earlier in the season. That would be them on to 5. And of course the minutes would clock up as well. They'd go past the 500-minute mark if indeed they can't find the net during the last few minutes of this one. So it is still Aberdeen 1, Kilmarnock 0. Hibernian going to maintain, at the very least, maintain their advantage in third place. They're 2-0 up against Hamilton. St Johnstone going to be still in the bottom 6, but tucked in just a point behind Dundee United and either 1 or 2 behind St Mirren the way things stand. And a great build-up, of course, for them for that cup final. And St Mirren 1, Livingston 1, and Callum Davidson making more changes, Stephen, as the second half has moved on.
Yeah, Glenn Middleton's on, Stevie May's on. I'd imagine he's taking players off with next week in mind. And I've got to say, they've managed the game really, really well. At no stage have they put it in doubt. And that's what I like about the back three of Kerr, Gordon and McCart. If there's any risk at all